country is my home and I've grown to love it. Of standing stones and monuments of old, you can feel the breath the ancestors are breathing in the ancient tales and the legends that are told. I can feel the air in the seasons that are changing, and the patient land colors with a wheel. I know the years have passed and that I'm aging. In acceptance of change lies a calmness that I feel. The soul of the land is sleeping, waiting for us to make that choice. If you care to know your own soul is weaker, to become one with the land that's to rejoice. I can feel the air in the seasons that are changing, and the patient land colors with the wheel. Humankind's conscience needs rearranging. The answer is stop and become still. This country is my home and I've grown to love it. Listen to your ancestors of old. Be still and you will find the answers in the stories and the legends that they've told.
Hello, my darlings. Hello, 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 and good evening to you, one and all. It has been a hot minute. Hello, 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 and good evening. I'm playing myself in myself. Sorry about that, guys. That music must have sounded awful then, because it would have been echoing. I apologize for those of you who turned up early and wanted to hear the intro, because I ballsed up the intro. To be honest with you, everything got ballsed up a little bit tonight. For some reason, the stream would not go live. No matter how hard I tried, it just wouldn't happen. But I thank you all for being here, for those of you that are here, the massive 8 of you. And I thank each and every one of you for being here and joining me this evening. It's been a hot minute. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a few weeks since well, actually, it's been a long time since I live streamed, but it's been a few weeks since I posted anything because, well, frankly, it's just a little bit, shall we say, I don't say the right things for the platform that we're currently on. And so things can get a little bit unpleasant politically correct. And that brings us to tonight's conversation, because we are in an election year. Hello, Zara B. Hope you're well. Whether you're a man or a woman, I'll be honest. I was going to go with woman, but nowadays you just don't know. So please put your pronouns in the chat so that I can address you correctly. Big up Asbo Alice. I'm going to go with Asbo Alice as a girl. I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to go with my gut feeling on the whole Alice part of Asbo. And I'm going to go with the fact that she's a lass, not a lad. Is she a pole or a hole? I'm going to go with a hole. Big up, thanks, big up Asbo, Alice. Be back in a little bit. No worries, Alice. You do you. Babs, we have Babs in the house, so hello everyone and good evening. Hello my darlings, as my classic saying goes on this channel. I hope everybody's well. I'll be honest, I'm not really looking at the camera. I'm looking at the screen because that's where your text is, and the screen is over here. There's one over there, and so I'm going to be sort of in there or in there. I'm not really going to be there, so it's not going to be to you. It's going to be to you. But it is still to you. But I can see you over there. That's where you are in my world. So, boys and girls, what is happening? Let me do a little shufflings of things around here so I can see things better. Yes, Zara, you are going to have to declare, are you a pole or a hole on this channel? Because there are only two types, poles and holes. You're either a pole or you're a hole, and that's all. Any news on Hatun? Well, the last piece of news that I kind of heard, if you like, offhand, Mike, is that she's perfectly fine. She gave some kind of an interview to some magazine or online sort of outlet. So she has given interviews and she is in good health. That's all I know, is that she's alive and well. Evening, Cheeky Chops and Cheeky Love again. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Identify yourselves. Please put your pronouns as whole or pole in the description, so I will address you correctly if you wish me to do so. Otherwise, I will just simply pick one, and you may feel offended afterwards. I'm Robert Banksy. Robert. You're gonna have to go with a bit more than that, Robert. What is your other other nicknames? I'm not sure, but anyway, I don't know. Robert is a very popular Robert. Robert White. Big up, Robert White. Okay. Good man, Robert. Yeah. So, what were we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? This is what's happening. This is election 2024, but it is not just election or erection. Is it election or erection? These are some of the characters from the 2024 election that we know. I'm trying to keep it PC here. I'm trying to keep it family friendly, people. Keeping it family friendly. Oh, I had someone in the back chat, but now they are not there anymore, and they are gone. So, Dream Team, who jumped in the back chat, you can jump back if you wish, and I will put you on a panel at a later time. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm gonna be full disclosure here tonight. I was actually going to simply play a game. I was simply going to play games tonight. I wasn't even gonna approach anything of this type of magnitude, but it just came to me that it is election year, and it just sort of, as I was doing my things, preparing for this little stream, I realized, yeah, and this is in the northern hemisphere, and if it can come down, you'll see that in India, spring of 2024 is expected to have an election. May and mid-August 2024 in South Africa, And of course, June, Mexico is going to have an election, and November of 2024, the United States will have an election, and likely before December 2024, Britain will have their election. And of course, we in London, if you live in London, we have our mayoral election in I think May, April time, May, June time. Hello, Fun with Dirt. Big up, Fun with Dirt. I think Fun with Dirt. I know you now. Well, at least if I think I know who you are, and I think I know who you are. You are the little devil. Curb your enthusiasm. Open your eyes. Good evening, gentlemen. Wolfman. Hello. I think I covered it. Oh, Mike. Yeah, hello, Mike. I think I've said Mike. Babs. Yes. And everyone else is good. Now, tonight, guys and girls, because it is an election year of elections, where a lot of countries around the world are going to have some kind of election. As we know, during election years, especially the American election year, these tubes, if you will, these tube streets are going to be extremely sensitive to anything that does not push their agenda. So, since they are going to be very, very strict on such matters, I would like to stress to you all that I am going to be woke this year, and I'm going to be very, very woke and careful of people's pronouns, gender identity, racial, religious identities, and I'm going to push a woke liberal agenda, a progressive agenda this year. I am your woke one-stop place, one-stop shop, if you will. So, for tonight's wokeness, you are all requested, not necessarily ordered, to put in your pronouns in the chat, whether you are a pole or a hole. Those are the pronouns that I accept. You can be Zara a hole or Zara the pole, but those are the pronouns that I would request for you to identify as, to see, so that we can, remain essentially PC, politically correct, and woke. So yeah, you go ahead and you identify as you wish. What am I talking about? What am I babbling on about? I digressed tremendously. There you go. See, Zara is a hole. Zara is a hole. We know that Zara is a hole. Thus, Zara has mammary glands, but not because she's obese, but because she has a hole. Zara has a hole. And you see, I never conform is a pole. I never conform has a pole. Thus, most likely he is a male. If he has a pole, he is probably a male. I never conform is a pole. And that's how we're going to move forward, people. So anyway. So, where were we at? I digress. But I am woke. I'm going to be very woke this year. Election year. Woke year. Wokeist. Wokerati. Woke. Awoke. Verb, to pass of wake. But that is not what we mean. This is what we mean when we say woke. I hear someone in the StreamYard chat here. I'll be with you in a moment, gentleman, lady. Whether you are a woke, a hole or a pole. Okay, we have an individual by the name of Dream Team. Hello, Dream Team.
Shalom. Salam alaikum. Shalom.
Shalom.
Greetings.
Greetings.
How are you?
Konnichiwa.
How are you?
Arigato.
Litua. Oh, you know Litua. Oh,
Who is this? Sorry, I know a dream team, but I only know that.
you know it's Brian. You know it's Brian Banksy.
Ah, it is indeed Brian. Then I suspected it, but I wasn't sure. I just had to confirm.
Oh,
Brian,
you fucking know. Stop lying.
Brian,
Yes.
we are being very politically correct and woke today. So could you please tell us your pronoun? Are you a pole or a hole in this for the sake of this conversation and this
So what
evening?
is Banksy? So what is Banksy? I'm standing for election, and I want your vote. I want your people's votes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You what? I mean, okay. Before we go down there, though, are you a pole or a hole?
I'm a pole.
You're a pole. You identify as a pole. You are indeed a pole. Okay.
I am indeed.
Okay. I accept your pronouns and your identity, and I respect your identity, and I am an
thank you.
ally
I
of your
appreciate it.
identity.
Are you a pole or a pole?
I mostly I have always been a pole, but in this modern era, I am now considering an in-between pole and a hole as possibly a non-binary in which I can possibly exchange holes for poles. I don't know.
Would you
I
be a
don't know how that's
pole?
gonna
Would you be a pole?
Yeah, a pothole. A pothole.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
what I'm going for. I'm going for a pothole or a mole, as Victoria says. Good evening, Victoria. So Brian, you are running for office in
I am.
2024 elections for what? Mayor or general election? Which?
President of the United States of America.
For the United States of America. You're actually running
I
for
am.
the President of the United States of America.
I am indeed.
That's
As an
interesting.
independent, I'm not a Democrat. I am not. I'm going as an independent party, inshallah.
Mm. Inshallah, yeah. Are you representing? Are you going for the Muslim vote here? Is that? What
I'm
you're-
going for all races. Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm going. Yeah. Greetings from the Anglican Church. Yeah. I am non-racial.
The Buddhists
I'm hoping.
and the Hindus.
Of course. Oh, no, Zen Buddhism. Only Zen Buddhism,
Only
sir.
Zen. Only Zen.
Yeah.
And
I'm striving for.
Hindus,
I am striving for enlightenment. I believe I've reached enlightenment, and maybe, just maybe, I might be reincarnated as Buddha.
Oh, I see. So that's as Buddha.
Special day.
You're going for the top job. You're
Oh,
not
yeah,
even
well-
messing around with the sort of peripherals of enlightened individual or a guru. You're just going straight from non-believer to Buddha.
Yes. Well, it's not a non-believer. But Zen Buddhism is about. I mean, obviously, you would you give up your worldly goods, Banksy? And I know you have a lot of worldly goods to strive for enlightenment.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm very attached to my worldly goods. It took a long time to acquire some of these goods, and so no, I'm not
I
giving a
believe
shit.
so. But you're worth. You are worth. Let's talk it in monetary values. Only in pound, shilling, and pence. The Great British pound, maybe in the dollar. But yeah, you are worth maybe a few pounds. More than a few pounds, actually, what I hear.
Not as much as people think. It's surprisingly.
Well, when you go to Speaker's Corner, you dress like a ninja with ninja camera.
Ninja?
Yes.
How do you mean I dress as a ninja? As in like the black clothes?
Oh well, you've got more cameras than let's call him Raj. Let's be respectful.
Camera equipment, yeah. I have been known to purchase excessive amount of camera equipment. Yes.
Excessive.
It's
You got
very-
360 degrees infrared.
Yeah, I've got far too many cameras for the amount of YouTube viewers that I get.
Well,
That's
word has it,
definitely true.
the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police asked you to use your CCTV. That's what I've heard.
That's
on the-
probably, yeah. I mean, I probably got it covered at some angle.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you was there, and there's accusations being made. Accusations, allegedly. Then when when Simon Lord was, shall we say, pushed, fell, whatever,
Mhm.
you put the boot in. Was that true or not? Because there was words. That was
No, definitely not true.
You were seen leaving the scene. That's all I'm saying.
No, it was actually my camera that the police wanted the footage from because I was the one that caught all of it.
I heard that. But did you put the boot in? It's a little one.
No.
Did you put the size 7 boot in or not?
Is a good friend.
Well, that's debatable. Anyway.
Well, I consider him a friend, and I've when I sit down and have a drink with a man, I consider him a friend. I mean,
what? Hang on. When you say drink, are we talking cider or are we talking like 7.5 beer cans?
No, this was pints. This was in a pub. We had a glass pint of ale,
really?
And beer. Well, I had a Camden Hill, I believe.
You had a Camden Hill, yes. And what did he have?
I'm not sure actually. I don't know. Peroni, maybe. It was a while back. It was in the summer, when me and Simon and some others were at a pub from the Speaker's Corner kind of crew. When there's
what are these crew? Zen crew?
Not the Zen crew. No, they are just the Speaker's Corner gang that do show up in London for various different protests or whatever.
So, what religion do you prefer it to be now? Because I've heard you were a prophet. That's again allegedly.
I'm a prophet. No, I mean, if I'm a prophet, I would actually come up with my own religion, which would probably be Banksyism.
Great religion. And what would that religion be?
Banksyism. It is the religion.
The ideology. What is the ideology of that religion, please? If you don't mind.
I'm still within my prophethood years, so I haven't fleshed it out yet. We haven't quite made canonized it yet. It hasn't been canonized fully. I'm still receiving revelations from the Almighty.
Are you on the road of Catholicism?
No. I mean, it's try not to be a cunt. It's the core essential tenets of the religion.
The religion I'm looking at. I'm looking into a new religion called cuntism. I don't know if you heard of it.
Oh, I see. Are you trying to be a cunt or are you trying not to be a cunt? Is it what?
Well, how does Omar is my second in command. Don't know if you know this young man.
Oh yeah, a young man. Yeah, young man. He's only a young man if you're 200 years old.
We are talking about the Omar D, aren't we? Yes.
You're talking about Uncle Omar, the white bearded rude guy.
No, Omar Karani, shall we say?
Omar Karani.
Karani.
I don't know. Are you talking about Omar as in the young lad who they used to call Rat Boy?
Yes, I am indeed. I didn't like to give out euphemisms because I don't like euphemisms.
I know. Yeah. But that's how I can identify because there's a lot of Omars. That's how I can identify the differences. Hello, Oscar, and actually also known as Omar.
Hey, what's happening, Hafez? Hey, man, what's up?
Man, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just chilling out, man.
Good man. Okay, for the uninitiated, Brian, I have another channel called Hafez Reflects, and Omar and others are all they know me from that side, so they all call me Hafez, whilst you guys all call me Banksy. So I've got these two different names banting about. But yeah, just in case you didn't know. So how is things in the dustbin, Omar? Fun with dirt. Because he's Oscar the Grouch. Have you seen this?
Is that Oscar? I was about to say, is that Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street?
It's not official. This one I think is a clone or a copy or some kind of unofficial.
Well, he's not blue, is he? He's not blue. He doesn't live in a dustbin.
He is in a dustbin and he is green. So he's pretty close.
Blue.
Yeah. Is Oscar blue then?
No, he's green.
Yeah,
was he?
That's
Grover. The Cookie Monster who's blue. It's the Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Sorry, I digress.
Grover also is blue.
So who is blue?
Grover.
Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Grover. Yes, Grover is blue. He's the one with the big nose, right? He's the
Gonzo.
No, that's Gonzo. That's Gonzo.
Isn't Gonzo blue? I thought Gonzo was blue as well.
Gonzo's blue as well, I believe. But
God, it's been ages since I've seen the Muppets.
I like Animal. Do you remember Animal, who plays the drums?
Yes, he's the best. He's so good.
Yes. He reminds me of you, Banksy. Come on, in.
Animal. Actually, that's good to know. But yeah, so Omar, what do you got to tell us? You are also in an election year. It's a very sensitive and delicate election, this one. Lots of controversy. So let's start with the poll question, because I've been keeping a track of the poll itself, and it's clear that I can see where my audience lands on this at the moment. I'm not going to reveal the poll because the poll hasn't ended yet, so we'll reveal it at the end of the show. But
it's 100%. It's 100%. You know.
It's just 100% no. Your vote doesn't count. But Omar, as a person of the great democratic and republic state of United States, do you believe that your vote matters?
No.
It matters when the Democrats are taking it. It matters, but not when the Republicans are taking it.
Oh, it only matters when that doesn't really then matter. Then that's it.
Can I ask this gentleman from our colonial cousins across the water a question, please?
Go for it.
Sure.
How many Jewish people run your Senate?
Talk about loaded questions. Damn.
Oh, probably a lot. I'm guessing a lot. You don't know who's in the closet with that.
82%.
Probably, man. Probably you're right on the money there.
Yep, I am. Yeah. Which says a lot for Israel. Sorry about this, Banksy. I'm bringing controversy to your channel.
And I try to keep this thing. I swear, when I started the stream today, I was like, no controversial topics, just regular. In fact, what I was planning to do was I was planning to play a game called R-Type. I don't know if you know retro games from back in the 80s, R-Type.
I'm 54 years old. I'm nearly as old as you, Banksy. I do know these games.
That's my favorite game, actually, too.
Yeah, I was just going to play R-Type.
No, the favorite game has got to be Defender.
Oh, Defender is good as well. Yes, yeah. And also
Gattaca.
Asteroids, yeah. Actually, I think Defender is Asteroid, isn't it?
Defender is the little spaceship that goes through up and down and does like the firing. Very, very old school, back in the 90s.
Yeah, but Asteroids is the same. I think it was just called different names.
But Asteroids is a triangle that you can just
shoot at the asteroids. Oh, yes. Wait a minute. Is Defender the one where there are rockets coming towards you and you have to intercept the rockets? Yes. So it's just basically, if it was in Israel, it would be called the Iron Dome.
No, I think it'd be called Palestine. But you might have what you do. You have little outskirts called. Called.
What I mean is, in modern day, essentially, Defender is the Iron Dome.
No, what it is, there's a new game out, Banksy, called Mujahideen. Yeah, but have you heard of this game? It was run by the United States for Afghan.
Oh Christ! This show is never. I won't be able to keep this. So guys, if I can't keep this show on this channel, I will remove it and put it on my Rumble. I just want to put it out there because I don't think this show is going to be able to stay on YouTube at the end of this. I just can't seem to keep a show going without pissing off someone at YouTube, and someone at YouTube has already got a rock hard on for my show anyway.
Can I have one last question? Because I've got to go because I'm going to be entertaining tonight. You know what I mean by entertaining, Mr. Banksy.
Nice. Does it involve candles on the nipples? Candle wax?
I think burnt wax, but we won't talk about BDSM. We won't talk about that. Anyway, that's another show, which I can entertain you to. Listen, do you really think with Israel and Mossad, they didn't think that paragliders and parachutes were coming over the fence?
Dude, there are like so many questions on that situation.
There's one question, isn't there? There's only one question.
Yeah, I mean, look,
right back.
I've posted some controversial, if you like, videos of Israeli IDF soldiers who were saying, like, these two women actually, they were like, look, I was one of the guards at that post, not on that day, obviously not on October 7th, but I used to guard that when I was in the IDF, and there are so many sensors that when a cockroach or a mouse approaches the fences, alarms go off. And
what about the satellite?
What about the satellite?
Yeah,
Well-
they can look at what you're reading and having for music for breakfast, Banksy. And I know you have music for breakfast.
Of
and
course.
two
I mean,
eggs.
let's put it this way. I know. I heard stories of then this was in the mid 90s. I think it was like 95, 96 when they announced that they could see a lit end of a cigarette from
Yep.
satellites. This was in the
Yep.
90s. By
Yep.
now they can probably tell what I've got, the contents of my stomach, let alone
They can know. They watch you going to the toilet. They watch you going to the toilet.
Exactly. So if they could see the lit end of a cigarette from satellites in the 90s, now come on, what
That's
are we kidding
that's what
ourselves?
they're telling you. What don't you know what they've got?
Exactly.
What don't you know what they've got?
So my question, I have questions, shall we say, about the events of October 7th. No, I don't question what the Hamas people did. I know they did what they did because they proudly
Do you reckon?
posted videos of them. No,
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
listen,
I don't
listen,
question what
how
they
can
did.
you fight Israel, who have got so-called hundreds and thousands of missiles, for young kids in Palestine who've got stones and rocks? There's no comparison. Come on. And what about the poison? Who poisoned Yasser? Who poisoned Yasser?
Yasser Arafat?
Well, do you know another Yasser?
I mean, I don't know. We know about like 50 Omars. But, there's like 50 Omars and 600 billion Mohammeds. So I mean, it's hard. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was he actually poisoned though? I don't know. Was he poisoned or was he just?
Of course he was
I mean,
poisoned.
he was old. But all I'm saying is when it comes to the events of October 8th, it's not about what they did, because if you let monsters into your house, monsters will do what they do. But it's who let the monsters in the house, which is what.
Let me give you a scenario, Banksy. Let me give you a scenario, and I say this is a scenario. This is make believe. Say I've got a massive issue with you, so I tell someone round the corner, Banksy, go and rob this house. There's 500 grams worth of jewelry. It happens to be my house. Yeah. So I am then playing a guy to play you to come and rob my house. So when you come in my house and rob my house with my women and children in there, I can shoot you.
Yeah, but the fact is that you don't let the robber come into your house, rape your wife, kill your children, and then you shoot him.
But that's what Israel do.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what I mean. I find it a little bit too much to accept that they just let their these monsters to do that to their people.
What were they carrying with the paragliders? What were they actually carrying? RPGs?
I don't know. Actually, it was a combination, because you have seen the live footage of these guys doing what they did. There's a footage of these guys, the Hamas fighters, with RPGs shooting at a car that's coming towards them. It's like a taxi or something.
With all respect, Banksy, I've seen a footage of an elephant fucking a mount. Doesn't make it real, does it? Sorry, the big crew.
I know. But the fact is that these guys literally had their own GoPro, action cameras, and they were recording this stuff like it was Call of Duty.
Listen, in all due respect, Banksy, I've seen you with 16 GoPros down in fucking Speaker's Corner. So it doesn't make it real, does it?
No, of course it does, because I'm literally recording and producing whatever is happening in front of me. I'm not even I'm live streaming it.
And you've got a 16mm camera on your shoulder as well. And a mic. How do you do that?
No, it's not. No, 16mm. No, I don't have a 16mm. I just have usually just phones and GoPro. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I believe the terrorists when they tell me what they are going to do and what they've done and how they're proud of what they've done. And I don't have any reason to deny their admissions. I have my own concerns about how and why they were allowed to do what they did. I have concerns over that. Just like 9/11, people want to make out it was some kind of holographic plane or any crazy nonsense like that. No, you don't have to do that. There are plenty of insane people in the world that want to kill you. You just let the gates open.
What about 7/7?
The British one.
Yeah. Well, that's called 7-7.
Yeah. I think it's the London Undergrounds and the bus. I mean, the funny thing is, I was in Spain at the time when that happened, and I just I heard it over the news.
Well, you are international. You are known as international.
I am. I'm always. I mean, at that time, I didn't have any YouTube channels going, but I should have actually. That would have been awesome. But the thing was, yeah, I mean, my brother was in London at the time, and he commutes. He used to commute to work all the time and use the tube lines. And this was what scared us a lot, was that he was in London, and we had to get in touch with him, make sure that he's all right. And thank goodness he wasn't involved in those.
Yeah,
but
bless him.
it was a real thing. I don't see it as an it wasn't a real thing. That could happen. By the way, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner or whatever at the time said, we can't actually stop this at any given time. Anyone who wants to do this, we can't really stop them, because you can't turn the London Underground system into a...
Banksy, your mic. All the money you've got, Banksy, your mic shit.
Is my mic bad? Seriously? I don't understand. This mic is usually God-level mic. I kick out. Is it breaking up? Oh, he's gone.
I hear you fine.
You hear me fine. No, it's his end. He's breaking up. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, the 7-7 guys, yeah, absolutely. I think Britain is vulnerable for these things all the time. It happened after that. There was the bridge. Your
Bridge.
Your mic's good. Okay, people. Cheeky's saying it's good. Yeah, London Bridge attacks. There was the ramming with the trucks and the vans. These things,
acid attacks.
Then there was just recent. Well, I mean, this acid thing was a localized thing. This wasn't a terror attack as such. He wasn't going around trying to. I think this was some kind of grievance, because usually acid attacks happen when women, I don't know, somehow shun a man or disgrace him, or somehow, you know what I mean. And this is a Middle Eastern. It's actually not even a Middle Eastern thing. This is mostly an Indian, Pakistani, and by the looks of this, Afghani thing. They throw acid, over women all the time in India and in Pakistan. It seems to be a thing over there. I mean, I don't even see this. I don't even know this in an Iranian sense. I've never heard of this. I've heard bad things happen, like they beat the girl, or they sometimes even killed, honor killings and stuff like that, even in Iran, in Saudi Arabia, in Middle East, all over the shop. But the acid thing seems to be a very Indian, Pakistani, and I guess by extension Afghani thing. I haven't seen it happen with the other cultures. I must have a cultural element to it. I mean, I know it's Islamic in the sense that Islam has this kind of culture of shame and dishonor. You know what I mean? Honor and shame is the Islam's kind of forte. And so if you shame the family, or shame your husband, or shame any member of that takes offense to whatever you've done, then yeah, they usually do terrible things to their young women. Unfortunately, that is sort of Islam stroke culture. But anyway, I'm digressing. Dirt. Let's get back to the politics of this year. I know that you said that vote only matters when it's Democratic votes, but what do you think? You think that there could be another upset, or because I think that just like 2020, when they pulled out all the stops, they're going to pull out a lot of stops this year. Things are going to get really dirty. Well,
all I know is that it's probably just going to be, there probably isn't going to be mail-in ballots, because it isn't even going to get to I don't think, an election this year, because Biden's already starting shit with Iraq and Iran and all that stuff. So he's probably going to declare an emergency powers, kind of like Zelensky, and cancel an election like he did over there in Ukraine. I mean, he's a sick fuck like that, Biden. He basically, everything he says that about Trump sucks, he does the exact same thing that he accuses Trump of. So he's pretty much, whatever he's going to accuse Trump of, he's going to do. So you pretty much just have to listen to what he says Trump's going to do if he gets in power, and he's going to do it right before Trump gets in, or if Trump even gets close to getting in, he's going to do it and stop everything. He's a douchebag.
But do you think that they're gonna have disease X or something pop up in order to force mailing ballots? Because it seems mailing ballots is their sort of ace in the hole kind of card.
I think every country in the world that dealt with that pandemic kind of like, went along with it, except for America. Like, because America, if this stuff started again, that would be the end of them, because nobody is going to accept a pandemic in any way, shape, or form. And if that starts up, these politicians are going to be taken out of their houses and freaking hung up from the freaking streets like rafters and stuff like that, because nobody's going to tolerate a pandemic in America. People said if that stuff starts again, the politicians are going to be grabbed first, because they saw how they lied and got caught here.
Interesting. So you think the politicians are actually kind of afraid of the
They're turning on Biden.
Public. Oh,
they're actually, they know they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose.
So they're trying to essentially cover their own rear end by,
as they say, they're riding the bandwagon with Trump, because even celebrities are doing it. All the celebrities that were voting for Biden, like especially Michael Rappaport, who's a big race baiter in America and was a pro-Biden guy, he's all of a sudden Trump now.
That's
and
actually
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yes, Snoop Dogg is a pro-Trump guy now. But I mean, do you watch Mark Dice by any chance? Do you know who I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now he was saying that the reason Snoop is on Trump's side is because Trump, what do you call it?
His buddy.
Yeah, partnered a guy who was a producer or something for was it Def Records or whatever. Anyway, one of those record labels.
He did that a while ago though, and he was always against them until now. All of a sudden, he was against Trump that whole time when Trump ran. Trump got his guy off, and he was still against him that whole time. Snoop Dogg's a piece of shit. He's actually a murderer that got off. So the guy basically. Yeah, he got in trouble back in the day. Like, he got off on the charges or some shit like that. But all those rappers do that crap. They're all gangbangers and stuff like that. But he's just a piece of garbage. He's just in the weed business right now. And he basically hangs out with like Martha Stewart, who's basically, what the hell, is like a tax evader. Like
well, no. She went to prison because of insider trading.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I forget what she does. Yeah, but she's basically, she sells weed too. They're all selling weed. All the celebrities are just selling weed in America. Mike Tyson, fucking the Belushis, everybody. It's ridiculous.
Mike Tyson. Yeah. Mike
Tyson sells
is selling weed.
He sells ears that are basically edibles.
Oh my god. Ears as in like the human ear?
Holyfield. Yeah, he bit off Holyfield's ear during a fight once.
And he's selling is he seriously selling weed ears?
Yeah, you could look them up. I've tried his stuff. It sucks. Alan Iverson actually has stuff too.
No way.
His stuff
He's
sucks.
selling Tyson weed ears. I got to see this. Oh my fucking god! He is selling weed. This is insane. I got to show the audience this shit. Oh my god, I gotta show this. This can't be right. This has to be. This is.
He's making money off it, dude. He smokes $40,000 worth of weed a month, he says.
This is insane. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta switch this for the audience because I gotta show this. This has to be seen to believe. Guys,
I'm surprised it isn't over there yet. It's over here. It's everywhere.
No, because like weed isn't strictly legal in Britain. It's kind of like the police turn a blind eye, but they're not. It's not legal. You can't actually have legal
dispensaries.
Sorry.
You don't have dispensaries over there?
No. It's not legal.
Oh,
it's still class. In fact, it was reduced to a Class B, I think, drug for a while, and then it got put back on the Class A kind of category again.
Weird.
Because weed is America when it comes to marijuana is actually much more progressive than Britain, believe it or not. It's crazy, and you would think that we're all like woke and progressive and all that, but we're not when it comes to weed. No. But it's unbelievable. Tyson is selling weed gummy ears. Oh my god. Is there nothing? I mean, to some extent, you got to admire the American capitalist sort of. What's it called? This capitalism. I mean, you guys, there is no shame in the shit you sell.
Oh yeah,
it's just shameless the way you guys sell everything and anything.
It's crazy how Holyfield is okay with it. Like he's not getting any part of it. Holyfield should get at least a piece of the action.
So.
It was his ear.
You would think so. It was him who got. In fact, it should
I
be
got more than
Holyfield
the
selling it, not Mike. Oh my god! Oh, this is shameless. I mean, it's. I'm surprised Holyfield hasn't, kicked off a stink about like this is ridiculous and this
They're
is
buddies, dude.
they're buddies,
They're
yeah,
like
but
bros and
still,
shit like that, man.
I mean, it's taking the piss on like so many levels.
Holyfield was a all around better fighter than Tyson. Like Tyson just had power and he had a few good years behind him, but Holyfield was a way better technical fighter.
Yeah.
He just basically was an overblown heavyweight on steroids. That's why he lost all his hair.
Tyson peaked very early in life.
Yeah.
He peaked, like in his teens, and then immediately after he went to prison and came back, he was just not the same guy anymore. He
trained right around where I lived growing up. My mother actually worked for the same guy that trained him over down in Jersey City. So the guy's like was he a Portuguese mafia guy, but he's like, in the boxing Hall of Fame and stuff.
Oh,
but yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's amazing. Amazing. Tyson is selling earweed. Lord have mercy.
Making a lot of money on it, dude.
As I said, you guys, you have no shame.
There's just so many celebrities doing it. That's the point. They're all doing it.
No shame or scruples by the looks of things. It's not even just shame. No shame.
Well, I mean, he used to start off as like robbing banks and stuff like that, or robbing stores, and then he was a convicted rapist. So I mean, the guy's never had shame.
Tyson. Yeah. I mean, of course, yeah. But the thing is, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about like the American public who actually go and buy this stuff from.
Yeah, everybody was laughing when that happened, dude. I mean, they were like, "What an asshole!" Like, we knew Mike Tyson, like, he totally lost his shit because he couldn't fight Holyfield. Then he had to go resort to biting him. So
yeah,
it was kind of like him having
obviously, yeah, because as I said, if Tyson had fought Holyfield in his 20s or 1920, in that period. Different story. I'm sure the history would be very different at that time. But at the age that he fought Tyson, at the age that Tyson fought Holyfield, Tyson had no chance of.
I think he already lost to McBride by then, or something like that, or what the hell is it? McNeely or something. He lost to some white guy by then. Yeah, he lost to a white guy. Remember, he got knocked out by him. All
right. Well, there you go then. So
I think it was McNeely. I think it might have been that or McBride. Either one. It was something with a Mick.
some Mick guy.
Yep, Irish guy knocked him out. I think it was. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, who would you? I mean, did you ever actually? This is because we were talking that you want to talk about boxing some time back.
Oh.
Yeah. Who do you rate? Because I was going to send you a list. I just never got around to it. Because I rate Lennox Lewis a lot. I think Lennox Lewis was a great boxer, far better than his legacy kind of gave him, credit for. Or
he lost to Klitschko, didn't he? That was his end, right?
I don't know whether he. No, he retired undefeated. He retired. Not undefeated. Sorry, he retired on top, as in he beat Tyson, and as far as I know, he retired after that. So I don't think but he did get beat by Klitschko when he was younger, and I think this was in his younger years. I don't think he fought him again afterwards, and then after when Lennox Lewis and that era was over, Holyfield, Tyson, then the Klitschkos came in and they started to dominate after that. But and then you got people like now you got Tyson Fury, and there was also another guy. It was another guy who actually kept wanting to fight. Hay, damn, English guy. He wanted to constantly fight the Klitschkos, and he was always stalking them. Lennox Lewis was so underrated. Well, this is the thing. This is JOJ is also saying that, because I think Lewis, he said it himself. He said, I age like fine wine. I became better as I got older. So he came into his own later in life. He peaked later, whilst Tyson peaked very early. Then he went to prison, and then that's it. That's all he wrote. But now he's like a celebrity character now, isn't he? You know what I mean? And I'm oh, go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh, Mike Tyson's pretty much just a clown He's pretty much like remember. Let's see he's basically Jake LaMotta. Remember Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull?
Oh yes, yeah. You're right. Yeah, he kind of
did the same things. Got in trouble for the same exact things.
I think it's because they don't look after their money. Like I think Lewis, the reason Lewis doesn't need to clown around and do the stuff that that Tyson is doing is because he's looked after his money. I'm sure he invested well. He's living the hot life, nice and comfortable.
They get paid better later on too.
Possibly. But what I mean is, I'm sure Lewis is not, strapped for cash. I mean, he was. I think last I remember, he was worth well over $100 million in his heyday, in towards the end of his career. And this was before the time of like Mayweather. I mean, Mayweather gets like 200. Sometimes it's estimated like $200 million for a fight. It's like ridiculous amount because of all the promotions and all the pay-per-view. He gets cut of everything. You know what I mean? He doesn't just get the purse. He gets $100 million, I think, minimum purse, Mayweather, and then he gets all the other stuff with pay-per-view and all the others. So he could clean up somewhere in the region of like $200 million. But Mayweather apparently has a massive gambling problem, so he blows all of his money very quickly. After he wins, so he's always strapped for cash again. That's why he still, he still does exhibition fights and stuff like that. Admittedly, I don't know if he's fought recently, but
he fought that Jake Paul guy. I thought, didn't he?
No, he fought
Mayweather. I could have sworn he got in the ring with Jake Paul.
No, he would have killed him.
But it's fake. Killed him. Fake fights they're doing.
Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
One of those Pauls. Let me see. Let me look it up.
I think this was a build-up. Jake Paul versus Mayweather. No. It says Jake Paul was scared of an unfair ambush versus Mayweather.
He fought him in June 26th, 2021.
Logan Paul did. Logan Paul. Yeah, his big brother. Because Logan Paul's like twice the size.
I didn't even know the difference between either one. I thought they were the same size, those guys. That's so weird.
Logan, his brother, is much, much bigger. Oh my God, they did actually fight.
Yep.
February 20th, 2021. To be honest, that's a massive drop for Mayweather. I mean, it shows how desperate he is for money. Because why would he?
It's a bigger draw.
Well, it is. Don't get me wrong. He makes a ton of money, but this is not good for his legacy. He's a serious fighter. What the hell is he doing? With these YouTubers, essentially, he's fighting fucking YouTubers.
Does he have like extra baby daddies and stuff like that? Is that what he is?
That's what I mean. He's got a gambling problem. He gambles his money. He's got a major gambling problem, and he's always blowing his money away. That's why he's constantly looking for fights. I mean, at his age, with the kind of purses that Mayweather has had, hundreds of millions of dollars per fight, he should be comfortable beyond imagination. He should have so much cash. Sorry?
He should be swimming in it.
Exactly. He should literally. I mean, he calls himself Money Mayweather, but he's always friggin' looking for another quid. He's always searching his pocket for change. How is it that you're this multi-millionaire football boxing star and you're fighting Logan Paul? Holy crap! That is a major drop, and I guarantee you he didn't get $100 million for that fight, because I don't think that fight would have made $100 million. I don't know how much it made, but I doubt. I would be massively shocked that fight would have made him $100 million. There's no way his purse would have been $100 million. That is insane. I mean, who would pay? I suppose you. Yeah, I guess loads of
wouldn't.
People. I mean, I know I wouldn't, but I didn't even know this fight took place. That's how little I cared. But I'm just amazed that that anyone would pay to. I don't know. It just seems, because Logan Paul is, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3". He is, I would imagine, at least 200 pound plus.
Yeah, definitely. He's like 250 probably, or 240 or something.
God
maybe.
knows, but I mean, he's easily over 200. Mayweather is like 180, 175. Probably less because he was a middle. He wasn't even middleweight, wasn't he? He was like lightweight or something.
He was small. I think he was light heavyweight maybe, or like a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah, there's no way that Mayweather would be. Actually, hold on. Let's see.
Welterweight maybe a little bit higher, middleweight.
Yeah, let me see if anyone in the chat that knows, let us know.
Like 170 maybe around those areas. Those guys.
Yeah, easily. There's no way Mayweather was much lighter than.
But I mean, like they can always adjust their weights and stuff like that, and they're using gigantic gloves. You know, like they're using like bigger than 16 ounces and shit like that. So it's like pillows hitting each other in the face. So not to mention they're pulling punches. And I saw during one of the fights that I think Mayweather might have knocked him out and held him up so that the bell could ring without him falling on the ground. I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure in one of the rounds.
Oh my God, that would have been
amazing. He
amazing.
accidentally hit him. He was supposed to duck or something like that, and he actually like hit him in the head by accident.
Yeah, because
they were. It's all choreographed.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can see it. I can see a picture of Logan literally on hanging off Mayweather.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. Yeah. No, there's no way. There's no way. What's it called? Let me see if I can put that up on the. I'm sorry, I can't really share through StreamYard.
That's all right.
I have to share it through my OBS. I got this weird setup of OBS StreamYard thing going on where the chat is everybody. My panel is on the StreamYard, but I actually run everything through OBS. So you got to watch the stream to see the sort of stuff. But yeah, there's an image of Mayweather or Logan Paul Mayweather literally holding up Jake Paul. He's like, don't fall, you dipshit. We need this. We need to go on a bit more.
It's freaking hilarious.
I mean, dear God, he's literally trying to hold him up without.
Oh my
dude,
that's embarrassing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, these things. I guess people pay for this kind of thing. It's entertainment.
Have you ever been to a boxing match?
Small ones, not like major boxing match, just like white collar boxing. I used to be part of this kickboxing club, and my club, we had a couple of guys who actually fought in some of these little white collar tournaments. In fact, I was training up for one. Unfortunately, during training, I got injured, tore a little piece of muscle in my rib. I got kicked effectively. The chap kicked me 3 times in exactly the same place, and tore the muscle on my rib. And
oh damn,
the doctor said it's going to take like 6 weeks for it to properly heal. I thought I had a broken rib initially, but he said no, it's just going to take about 6 weeks. I was like way past the fight date. The fight date was like in like 4 weeks, I think 5 weeks, less than that. And he says it's going to take 6 weeks to heal. I had to pull out the fucking fight. But I wanted to actually. My coach said to me actually. I had a female coach. She said, you should just do boxing. Don't do a kickboxing fight. Just do a boxing fight. You're much better at just boxing than kickboxing. And I am. I'm heavy. It takes, I can literally, you can have a cup of tea whilst I throw you a kick. By the time it gets to you. 5'8", 5'9", well, 5'8", really.
Oh, we're like the same height then. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I can throw low kicks pretty well. I'm good with low kicks, like leg kicks, sweeps, but when it comes to body kicks and stuff like that, head kicks, Christ, now fucking get it. There's no way my legs are never coming up that high. My body is like a dried piece of wood. It's never coming up that high. But low kicks, but the thing is, now all I concentrate on is just street self-defense, because something could kick off, and you just need to have those basic moves to be able to just handle yourself or anyone with you. Because nowadays, I'll be perfectly honest with you, contemporary combat is absolutely essential for anyone. You see, I've seen the amount of people that I've seen get attacked on the streets of London now, and it's increasing all the time. And I'm out and about myself, recording stuff in the middle of the night or early evening in London, in all over different parts of London with these speakers corner stuff, protests. Shit kicks off all the time. So you just have to but the main thing is, what I found is, you don't need to fight physically. You just have to be aware of what is about to kick off, and you just position yourself so you're out of the way of that event. I'm just interested in I want to capture some of these fights in order to to go viral. I'm just looking for viral. I'm like one of those paparazzi scumbags who's looking for that viral moment.
You should be over here, dude, because I always find the weirdest situations, dude. If you were around me, oh my God, dude, you would just see some weird shit.
But yeah, that's it. That's the main thing in London, is just walking around trying to see if we can catch that viral moment. There's something kicking off, but otherwise, yeah, most of the time I keep myself in a relatively safe zone, and I don't take too many chances. I've had friends of mine who were badly beaten. This friend from Speaker's Corner, Pavlov, is a Ukrainian lad. He was just out, and I forgot, it was some kind of protest. It was like Antifa type protest, and he wasn't even involved in the protest. He was just out watching the stuff, and some piece of dog turd came with a skateboard and hit him from the back, and as soon as he hit the floor, 3-4 guys jumped him, and just arms and legs and kicks were just flying at him. He got beaten up relatively bad. He had a bad busted lip, bruising and all that stuff. And they never caught the guy. He reported it to the police. Nothing happened. Weird. This is the other thing as well. You think that there's like justice and the police will catch him and they'll do something. No, half the time police won't do dick. You won't even see the guy get interviewed by the police, let alone anything else. So you gotta look out for your own self. Otherwise, you can't really rely on the police anymore. The police in Britain, useless, 100% useless, totally. Like 99% of the time. Oh, sorry, I've got a CCD. Big up CCD, by the way. I can throw viciously. What? I can throw viciously. I'm always walking with a box of powdered donuts. I usually just eat them, but if someone shows up, I can throw a mean donut. There you go. Donuts as projectile defense weapons. I never really personally thought about donuts as a projectile weapon that could be used in self-defense situations, but it looks like we have a testimony by CCD that you can potentially, fend off the offender. I mean, I suppose that if you have one of those donuts that have got like glazed sugar, what do you call it? Caster sugar or whatever it is on it, the powdery stuff. Glazed, but the powder sugar. I'm talking about the powdery sugar. That could like get into the eyes of the opponent.
Pocket sand.
There you go. Or the glazing itself, it could be quite sticky. It just sort of sticks to the face.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. The person would definitely be uncomfortable. He'll probably get more pissed off and then kick the living crap out of you even harder. But you may have an opportunity to run away whilst he's dealing with the stickiness. So there you go. Self-defense 101 from Bullshito. Brought to you by the Banksy Style channel. We have all the good self-defense here. Do you find any food or fruit beverages of any sort that could be a good self-defense tool that one can have?
I would think something. Let's see, candy bars if they're cold enough and stuff like that. I've actually seen somebody wing a candy bar at a chick and knock her out. So I mean, is there a particular candy bar that you Mars, Marathon, Snickers, or That's the funny thing. The name of the candy bar that knocked the person out was a king size whatchamacallit. It was called
a king size whatchamacallit.
That's the name of the candy bar. Whatchamacallit.
It's literally called a king size whatchamacallit. That's amazing. Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, king size whatchamacallits. Now we don't get that in Britain, so as a substitute, I would substitute perhaps maybe a Snickers bar, a king size Snickers bar. Yorkies. Do you guys get Yorkies in America?
I think peppermint patties. Yes.
Okay, there you go. They can be quite rough to deal with. Yeah. How about fruits or vegetables? Cucumbers, aubergines.
Something hard.
I can imagine, like, you take a cucumber, you split it in half, put like a shoelace between it, got yourself a little nunchucks going on there. And now I'm not entirely sure how many impacts you'll get. You might get 1 or 2 shots before the cucumber explodes all over the assailant.
Well, if you stick a carrot in somebody's eye, you could take an eye out probably.
There you go.
Like
Carrots are quite deadly. Depending on how you. I mean, to be honest with you, if you're a John Wick character, a number 2 pencil is probably the most deadliest thing you probably have on you. Let's be honest. A number 2 pencil, take out. If you're John Wick, but of course we're not all John Wicks. So how can we sort of adjust that in order for us to be able to defend ourselves with a number 2 pencil? I don't really know, because only John Wick is the one that can kill a man with a number 2 pencil. The rest of us.
Was he a soul repossessor? That guy? Is that what his thing was?
Who? John Wick?
Yeah.
A soul repossessor.
Is that what he was? I could have sworn he was something like that. Some religious thing.
Oh no! Have you?
Or is that Constantine? I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, that's Constantine. Yeah, no, that's okay, Constantine. Yeah, he goes and takes the devil, the demons who've possessed the souls of humans, and he casts them out. Yeah, no, that's Constantine. No, John Wick is just like Baba Yaga, as they called him, who is just like this killer assassin who retired, and then they killed his dog and stole his car, and then he went on a killing rampage in the first one, and then it just got more and more ridiculous with every film.
Was that Tom Cruise?
No, it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh, you know what it is? He wears suits in every fucking movie. I don't know what the hell movie it is. It's a same suit. He wears the same freaking suit. It's like, change your suit, dude. Like, even since Johnny Mnemonic, he's been in a freaking suit.
It's true. I mean, apart from Matrix, where he had distinctly different outfits, Keanu Reeves has pretty much been in the same suit for about like 10 different movies at the moment. No, but in Constantine, it was all about devil and heaven and earth and all that stuff. It was a supernatural, because John Constantine is a guy who deals with the other realms, if you like, magic and all that stuff. Whilst in John Wick, no, he's a straight up assassin. I mean, I'll be honest, the amount of people that he's capable of actually killing and destroying, like hundreds of people at a time, he would almost verges on a supernatural. I mean, you would think he is kind of like a Superman, because most people who fall off 4-story buildings don't do so well. They don't tend to walk away from that. Whilst John Wick seems to, and he's literally fallen. In the last movie, I think the last one that I remember, he fell out of like a 2 or 3 story building. He hit a bus and then hit the floor. He landed, I think, on a bus roof. And then
is he Superman?
And he walked away from that. I trip over 1 step and I'm in traction. I need medical assistance for a month.
I do.
If I trip over my own shoelaces, my knees are shot for about a month. I have to wear braces and rub that Tiger Balm stuff into it.
What did you think of the last Matrix? Did you like the last Matrix?
I mean, they went full Jesus with it, really, didn't they? I mean, it was a bit. I don't know. I guess on a sort of, I don't know, spiritual level, or if you want to take it in this esoteric kind of level, it was interesting how they wanted to take it to this kind of higher level, this almost like spiritual level, but it wasn't a great movie. The last one really wasn't good. I mean, to be honest, even the second one was okay, but it wasn't. I mean, the car chase, the motorway, the highway scene, that was amazing. Apart from that, the fight scene, I suppose, with the what's his name? The thingy, the Frenchman.
Oh yeah, Frenchman.
The Frenchman and his goons. You know that scene where they're all doing the kung fu business? That was all right. Morpheus' scene on the back of the truck was pretty decent. I said there were a few good set pieces, but overall it was okay, but it wasn't. The first one was just the concept, because, you know, the first one, you didn't know what the hell was going on. I'll be honest, when I first saw the first Matrix, because just prior to that, Blade had come out with Wesley Snipes, and Blade was phenomenal. It was
that was a great movie. I like that one.
It was awesome. It just had everything right. And when I saw Blade, then I saw the trailers or you know, people talking about this film called The Matrix coming out. I thought it was a superhero movie as well. I thought these guys have got some sort of superpowers, and that's why they can do all this crazy stuff. So I just went into the movie theater thinking this is a superhero movie, just like a new superhero movie, with a new concept. It's not it doesn't come from Marvel. It doesn't come from DC. It's just a new superhero thing that they've created. And that's what
the weird thing about. Sorry. No, I was saying the weird thing about The Matrix is it's like a remade Tron. The same exact Tron movies, like basically, like it's just better.
It's just the most awesome version of Tron. But that was the thing. I didn't know these people were in computers in a simulation. I thought they were just. I just thought they were superhuman people, like some kind of alien race or some sort of superhuman. They got some kind of superhuman abilities, and then they were doing all this crazy stuff in the real world. But of course, when I watched the movie and then went into oh my God, this is in their head. Oh, it just blew my mind. You know, it was just brilliant. It was just so great on so many levels. Unfortunately, the second and third one, it kind of didn't hit the mark the way I thought. And to be honest with you, what do you think about the fourth one? Actually, before I give you my opinion on the fourth one.
Well, you know what? I like the fourth one in a way. Like it was just way different, like completely opposite of like the other Matrixes, and they kind of like made it like when they made it more of like with I guess the Facebook type aspect and like, you know, I guess the Warcraft type stuff, like mixing in with what is like, you know, kids are doing now. It was like it just seemed more relatable. Like usually when they do like a trilogy or like a sequel or whatever, they kind of like go completely off and it just sucks balls. Like, I mean, I can understand the ones that you're talking about, they kind of did suck balls, and this kind of made up for the movies that suck balls. You know, it's Jada Pinkett was a fucking movie killer. I think the Picketts are all Will Smith's kids. They are made to ruin movies. If you ever watch his son, he is created solely to ruin movies. The one movie with his father, they call it After Earth, but they call it After Birth because that's what he did to it, because he ruined it. I mean, if you ever watch him in that fucking, what was that, the End of the World movie with Keanu Reeves, his part was just to be an asshole. Oh, that's it.
Oh, the Day the Earth Stood Still, the remake with Keanu Reeves. Was that Jaden Smith? Oh my God, I didn't even know that was Jaden Smith.
I knew it was just the little face on him. He was such a little asshole. He looked like his mother. It was like, good. Oh my God, he's just here to ruin things. And that's the face that his mother probably makes at Will. That like when you saw her like twisting his balls on that camera when she made him go on Instagram against his will. Oh my.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, that did suck balls. Also, which one was it? The Karate Kid, the remake with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. He destroyed that franchise. He just like killed it. I thought because they made a fourth one after the Mr. Miyagi Daniel's son, they got the girl Hilary Swank to do one, and that was terrible. And I thought, okay, that one was they couldn't possibly make a Karate Kid movie worse than that fourth one. And then the Jaden Smith one came out, which was, by the way, it's not the Karate Kid, it is the Kung Fu Kid. He didn't learn karate. Exactly. He wasn't even in Japan. He had nothing to do with karate. The man. Well,
you know what? I was surprised he didn't do Wu-Tang. I'm surprised he didn't go there. You know,
but the thing is, like, how is it that you're calling a movie The Karate Kid and you have nothing to do with karate or Japan or anything that is around karate?
Maybe he was wearing Hayat Karate shampoo, or call that cologne.
It was like he went to China, he was living in China, he met a Chinese man who taught him Kung Fu. And the movie movie's still called. I mean, this is a multi-million-dollar production. This wasn't like some couple of guys with a mobile phone and a GoPro, and they decided to make a student movie. This was a multi-million-dollar production. It went through approvals, it went through studios, and they wrote scripts for this shit. No one said, how is this Karate Kid movie doesn't have karate in it?
I know. It was freaking ridiculous.
Nobody clocked that. No.
They just basically just shit on the entire franchise of the movie with making that thing. Like, it had nothing to do with anything.
They killed it. They just killed it. And
when they did the remake, though, what they did to the Cobra Kai guys, they made them all racist.
Well, the thing is, I haven't seen the last Cobra Kai, the last season of season 5. I just didn't get around to seeing all of that. So I don't know what happened to them at the end of that season. But the first 2 seasons, or at least certainly the first season, I thought was great. Because it was kind of like a fish out of water kind of a situation where Johnny had basically, it almost like as if he'd float through life without ever interacting. And this was it was a little bit weird. The fact that he didn't know what the internet was, the fact that he didn't know what social media was. And this is like in the mid-21st century. We're like 2020, when did it come out? 2018, 2019? Something
like that.
So it wasn't like he came out in the 80s or something, but it looked like almost like Johnny had skipped through the 90s and the early 2000s and just arrived at 2019.
He was doing cocaine the whole time and just flew right through it.
he was just stoned and drunk for 20 years after high school.
You know what? You're talking about that Jaden Smith movie, not to go back to it, but there's actually a Funny or Die show where actually they make Ralph Macchio, the original Karate Kid, get all drunk looking at a poster of the Karate Kid with Jaden Pickett as him. And he's all like,
my God.
Look it up there, Funny or Die. It's like a parody. I'll look for it.
Yeah. I mean, that would. That's the only good thing that Karate Kid, Jaden Karate Kid, is for is just parodies and piss take, because it was just the whole thing was a ridiculous movie. But yeah, I mean, I like the concept, although it was a bit far fetched that Johnny had skipped through the 80s and 90s and just arrived in 2020, 2019, 2018. Without knowledge of all the other things that have taken place. But it was still quite good because it kind of mocked the whole woke and modern kids trends and not bullying anyone, and bullying is bad, because he was the bully and he just carried on bullying all his students in the same way. But it was kind of, for me at least, it gave some indicator that, look, sometimes life is crap, sometimes life is a bit bad, and sometimes people treat you like crap. But if you take those bad, energy of these people who are giving you bad energy and treating you like crap, but use it to motivate you, to push you forward to do something great, that's the whole point of life's trials and tribulations. You don't sit and cry about it. You use that anger, that energy to propel you forward to be more successful, even if it's just to tell these guys to go F themselves after when you become successful, just to turn around and go, see, a huge amount of things in the world has been accomplished. Do you think that if Bill Gates had never been stuffed into his locker with his underwear wedged up his ass twice a day, that there'll be a Microsoft? No, Microsoft is a basic fuck you from Bill Gates to all the jocks that fucked with him while he was at school.
Oh, I found it, dude. Let me see if I can send it to you if you want me to try to post it.
Yeah.
If you want.
See if you can put it in the side chat, because I don't think, unless put something in the main chat so I can make you an admin so you can put things in the main chat. Actually, where are you? Because I saw you fun with dirts. Oh, NCP, big up NCP. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people who've joined the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not keeping up with the chit chats.
You know what I saw in Karate Kid that was really funny in the second one?
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go.
SUPERCHAT.
I know, that's not going to work. Let's just do it like this.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, what went wrong?
What is this?
Honey, we're worried about you.
It's an intervention.
Ones are here. Your manager, your family, our mailman, Jose, the gardener, and Stan.
Oh, that's
Our new-
awesome.
We just want to talk to you. Jose, you want to start?
Jose, what the?
Gardner. What else is he do?
Oh, boy!
Odie boy.
You know he wasn't being nice, right?
I spoke to every city on town. They think you're kind, you're polite, you're gentle, you're sweet. No one wants to hire
But
you.
that is the real Ralph Macchio. It's not like they've cut him
Yes.
in.
16 candles and
Molly Ringwald.
Oh my
My
God, Molly Ringwald.
How's he going to have a career?
These are all the people from the 80s whose career just died after that era.
Are
Yeah.
you sure you've never slept with
They need money.
anyone else?
To get back on top.
I am not going to take this lying down.
Huh? A wholesome family man? Where?
I think
What
this
planet?
jump started the whole thing for the Cobra Kai.
I swear I think this inspired it.
You want to make a
Completely.
what?
A sex tape with no
Because this is so much like what Johnny's story essentially in season 1. Johnny took this journey.
Good market face cream
Completely.
for men.
Well,
Weird.
I've been
They flipped it and they made Daniel the successful one and Johnny the sort of loser. But essentially, it's the same thing.
Yeah. There we go. Colin,
Oh my
whatever.
God! He's oh my God! Is that Steve
Studying
Quinn?
Yeah.
no pictures, guys. Look, I am trying to have a clandestine brunch with my underage lady friend.
Alcoholics. Drug addicts.
Oh
And he
my
wasn't a
God.
mess up. That's what he was. He wasn't a mess
I'm
up.
engaged in illicit
Oh
behavior
my God!
to be photographed. I'm sorry about you wrong.
They got arrested with prostitutes.
Hey, I just want to get photographed getting a hand job from you. I'll take that.
This is the Hugh Grant thing. This is the Hugh
Yeah.
Grant.
8 years old.
He's trying to become famous again. Oh my God! Oh my God! That is awesome.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah, I don't think I'm
Josh?
going to be able to
He
leave
fell
this
out of
on
like
YouTube.
fame though. He was really good.
It was.
It's the Karate Kid. Yo, man, do that crane shit. Come on, Christmas for the week. Come on,
He actually kicked him
Up
in the
here.
face.
Hey, Becky, an unidentified teenager caught on tape in a Hollywood club brawl.
tried to attack, but he wanted
Oh,
to change.
Molly was so cute.
Yeah.
You ever watch The Breakfast Club?
Have a
Yes.
nice day.
Many times.
Oh my God! The princess. She was the best.
That was a great movie.
Molly was the best.
Here's him getting drunk in front of the poster.
Wait! Go back! I missed it. Oh, there he is! Yes!
Make you happy.
Want to be happy?
Oh, that's brilliant!
Oh,
Wax on,
Wax
fuck off!
You know this is $50, right?
it's so worth.
Wax on, fuck off!
That was definitely a good one.
Dude, they 100% used this to inspire them to make the Cobra Kai one because literally the first season of Cobra Kai was this. That's what it was. It was just them.
It was really good too. I liked
It was just
one.
Johnny instead of Daniel. That's literally, they used the whole freaking thing. It wasn't even like a little bit. Crazy.
Do you remember the second?
Sorry, go on.
Do you remember the second Karate Kid with the Asian guy?
Oh, yes. Yeah, when they went to Japan, when they went to Okinawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
like, you
about
know, basically like Mr. Miyagi, like, oh, here's a really odd thing that like I noticed back when I was a kid, when I was watching that Karate Kid. All right. So All right, they go over there and they're kind of like mafia guys. Like Mr. Miyagi's like best friend, like runs everything, and his grandson's like running the supermarkets.
That's
and
right.
Daniel goes and helps some Asian guy with his like produce to put it on the scale. And while he's helping the Asian guy put the produce on the scale, which basically Mr. Miyagi's best friend's kid is running the scale. The scale tips over and basically he picks up the weight and breaks it and notices that the weight is basically like, hollow.
Oh yeah, because they were cheating the farmers out of their.
But that's the weird thing about it. As you say that with cheating, if you look back at it, they're actually cheating themselves because if the weight weighs less, they're getting less money themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense.
They didn't think that one through.
I've never seen an Asian person cheat themselves ever.
Yeah.
So
well,
definitely.
Well,
no.
Wait a minute. Because if the weight, let's say it's, I give you $1 a pound, okay, and so I put a 10-pound weight, which is actually 5 pounds. You, in order for it to balance out, it's not. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Let me think.
No,
it's true because the weight has
Cheat
to actually
yourself.
be. Yeah, you are. The weight has to
Rules
be like if
have
I put a
actually
5-pound weight on, but it's actually a 10-pound weight. You have to put 10 pounds worth of produce in order to balance out the 10-pound, but it shows as a 5-pound weight. So I actually only give you money for a 5-pound amount of weight, of produce, because you know what I'm saying. But I'm actually using a 10-pound one, so I'm actually cheating you out of 5 pounds. You have to put 5 pounds extra on your side of the scale because my weight, even though it says 5 pounds, is actually a 10-pound weight. So the weight has to be actually far more heavier than what it says, rather than lighter. So the Karate Kid one, they were effectively cheating themselves out of.
Exactly. You know what? Actually, this is the weird thing that I had a theory on. That basically Mr. Miyagi's friend was trying to give the people more money purposely, basically because he was being a good guy. And Daniel just starved out a bunch of Chinese or Asian people because he busted the scam.
Yeah,
he busted the scam and he fucked them.
They would. I don't. The thing is, I don't think that's what the writers were thinking. I think they just screwed that whole scene up because they didn't think it through.
if that was the theory, he was screwing over the people, Daniel, because they were going to get more money for their stuff.
Daniel ruined a perfectly good scam for the farmers to get more money for less products that they produce.
It'd be awesome if somebody made like a mini short and we were like, "Hey, Daniel, you made us lose my entire business, Daniel." And they all come chasing after him.
My children are starving. I lost the farm.
Entire villages with his fucking face on a flag, and X out on it and stuff. They're all coming after him.
They've got posters of him with darts in it because he fucked them over.
Yeah, they're like double Cobra Kai, where they're like Hydra Kai, where they got 2 heads and stuff like that, where they got to go get him in the wallet because he fucking robbed their whole village. Yeah, that was definitely a weird part.
Oh my god, you're right. Daniel screwed over the farmers on that particular. He wasn't screwing over the mobsters. He screwed over the farmers because the mobsters were. Yeah.
You know what's even weirder about Daniel? He's a troublemaker from the start.
Yeah.
Because he had to leave Newark, New Jersey, and his mother didn't care 2 shits about him. She had to go. She thought with her crotch and ran all the way freaking to the West Coast to some place where he had no clue anybody who he had no friends or anything like that. And she put him in the middle of a school. And the first thing he does is start shit with the blonde kid who's actually going on the right track. He basically just like adjusted himself, went to those karate classes to learn discipline. And all of a sudden, this kid comes and starts messing with his ex-girlfriend who they just broke up. So basically, like the bed is still warm. And Daniel basically starts pushing, trying to get in there. And why the hell wouldn't the guy get pissed off? I mean, if you watched the beginning, I would have kicked his ass also, too. It's like, dude, stay off, man. We just got into a fight. Like, back off. We don't need some piece of shit Jersey coming in here starting shit.
Exactly.
What happened?
Did you actually see they made a video? It was on YouTube as well. They made a compilation.
Oh, him the troublemaker?
Yeah, that he was the bad guy. It was in fact Daniel.
That's how I saw it too. That's how I saw it when I was growing up, because I'm from New Jersey myself, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, he's the fucking bad guy. He's coming in there. I'm like, don't ever mow another man's lawn. We used to say that all the time.
Exactly.
You know, like it's like back off. You know, it's like, you know, there's
And-
enough
and-
pussy
and
for
when-
us to go around.
And when Johnny came to tell Daniel to back off, this is his girl, he then sucker punched him in the face. Because of the radio thing, because he said, look, I'm just trying to talk to my girl, and Johnny pushed him and he got up and sucker punched Johnny.
Totally.
And then just started the whole ruckus for no reason. He was the troublemaker. He was the troublemaker the whole time. He's the asshole.
And he couldn't even back up his shit. That was the worst part about it. He had to have some fucking Asian guy kick their asses for him.
And then he ran off to some old geezer who could kick their asses. It's like almost the equivalent of, I'll bring my dad to beat you up.
Exactly. And the weird thing about Miyagi was he was like repressing stuff because he wanted to kick the people in his own country because he was running away from them. You know, so he was like, I'll just kick the shit out of some white kids, you know? That's like racist.
I think Miyagi was probably a closet racist, definitely.
He was a communist, probably.
Probably a commie. He came from Japan, with all his sort of Japanese imperialistic attitude, and then started beating up on these young college students. I mean, let's be honest. What was Miyagi was like at least 50, 60 years old in that movie.
Yeah,
he would have been in that sort of age range, mid 50s, early 60s. Here he is, some Japanese racist just beating up on white English, white Americans, school students. They're not even college, they were school, they were high schoolers.
They're minors.
So imagine if I go to some regular high school and just beat the shit out of 5 of them, I'd be in prison for years.
Total hate crime.
Not even hate crime. The fact that I'm an older man who just beat high school children.
Yeah. I'm surprised their parents didn't come over knocking on his fucking door. Like, that's what would happen in real life.
Exactly.
Like, did you hit my son? Like, have like 20 parents outside there lynching him and shit. Because that's what really would happen.
This is the thing. Like, the next day when they were what's it called? Miyagi. There was a scene where Daniel was at school and all the other guys who beat them up.
Halloween.
No, just after the Halloween scene where they were all bruised and black-eyed and stuff, but they weren't allowed to beat him up until the competition.
They made the arrangement.
Yeah, they made the arrangement. So they all had black eyes and injuries. Their parents never said, Johnny, what happened to your eye? Who beat the crap out of you? Same as all the other lads with the broken, with the injured shoulders and arms and legs, and they had bandages and sleeves. It's like the parents never said anything. What happened to you? What, you went to some party, you got beaten up?
Well, that's, it is also, that's West Coast mentality, because those are the California people, and the parents were probably all high on drugs, not even in the kids' lives, and they were probably like, in another country, like, like freaking snorting coke off a hooker's ass or something like that. You never know what they're doing.
That's true, man. That's true. That's what it is with these liberal Californians, these West Coast liberals, man. They probably were all, on Xanax and Adderall. Smoked out of their heads, and they just don't care. Their kids just grow up. I mean, it wouldn't happen today because of all these helicopter parents. All these parents that are 24/7 watching their kids, and also zero tolerance to bullying at school. Daniel would have been easily put in jail after his antics. Either that, or he'd be suspended or expelled from school for just starting fights essentially. But
also. He would have gotten killed because he's basically 120 pounds. The kid.
Yeah, he would have got mashed. The thing is, he even started that whole, the whole beating that he got for the skeleton with the guys with the skeleton outfits, and they beat the crap out of him, was because he took a hose and he put it over the toilet and just hosed the guy down. So
he ruined his weed.
Yeah, he started this shit. He literally started every beating he got. It's because it's the old adage, fuck around, find out. And Daniel LaRusso, he fucked around and he found out, but yet he's shown as if he's the hero in this story. He's the one. He is essentially he's Hamas in this situation. And he had some old geezer save him, just like the Houthis and the Iranians are trying to save them. But really, it's Johnny that was the victim here.
I got something that's going to blow your mind also about Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi was a sex offender.
Oh,
you know, I know.
Oh, damn.
The last scene of the movie, he put his hands down Daniel's pants and adjusted his wiener to win the fight.
Was his? I thought it was his knee that he.
They just show him stick his hands down his pants and Daniel going, But he had to rub his hands because doctor's hands were cold.
He warmed up his hands before he went down there as well, just to make sure. And it's true. It is possibly that he sexually molested a child during a karate tournament, which in itself,
Daniel liked it.
I mean, whether he liked it or not, it doesn't matter. You know, children cannot give consent, so that is statutory molestation at best.
It's very odd, though, and also, like, Daniel was doing an illegal kick the whole fucking time too. You're not supposed to kick people in the face with that crane kick.
Yes,
that'll take
that was an illegal. I'm sure the head. Oh no, were the head kicks allowed in that tournament?
No, that's completely against the law in any type of fighting. You're not supposed to kick like that in the face.
No. But the thing is, if you remember at the beginning, in the montage of fights, one of the Cobra Kai guys actually kicks Daniel in the eye, and I don't think he loses a point or he gets told off.
He tells him to sweep the leg. That's what he told him to sweep the leg.
Oh no, that was later. That was later in the final. But if you look at the montage of the fights. In the middle, you know, there was that blonde guy who was like a really nasty blonde head guy. He kicks Daniel in the eye because Daniel kind of like holds his eye and he kind of like does that crap with it and he like rubs it. But I don't know. I don't know if head kicks were allowed or not allowed in that tournament. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But either way, if they weren't allowed, if this was, you know, neck below kind of, because let's be honest, most high school karate tournaments for children, you're not allowed head kicks. I don't think you are. Actually, I don't know, because I went to a tournament when I was 19, 18, and the head kicks were actually allowed in that tournament. It's just no one could make it because most of us were not that flexible. I did actually but it was supposed to be light contact anyway. It wasn't a full contact tournament. It was a light semi-contact kind of tournament, so we couldn't really just smash into each other's heads anyway. Even if we could reach that high. But I did like brush a guy's chin and I got a point for that. But I didn't like kick him in the head. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. These tournaments, you got to, I mean, the rules, unless we can find the All Valley high school karate tournament rules, it's questionable, shall we say, whether the crane kick was legal or not. Most of the time, probably not. I don't know. But sweeping the knee, I don't think even sweeping the knee was actually illegal. Was it an illegal move?
They got the guy thrown out of the competition.
Oh, is that what happened? No.
Yeah, the guy's like.
I thought it was the fact that he attacked the knee. He didn't sweep the knee.
Oh, that's what it was.
He actually stomped on the knee, and that's what fucked up his leg. But what happened was later, when they were fighting the final with Johnny and LaRusso, Danny, then it was when the guy said to him, sweep the knee, because he had a weak knee. And he said to him, sweep the knee, and he did sweep the knee and punched him or kicked him or whatever, and he actually got the point for that. So no, sweeping the knee wasn't illegal, but it was like a dirty move because the guy's knee had already been like mashed up, and so they knew.
Was that the part where he started like running up to Daniel going, I'm sorry, Daniel, I'm sorry I did that? Is that right after he did that?
That was the other guy who got disqualified.
Okay.
The one who stomped his knee and put it out when Daniel was on the floor, like holding his knee and just sort of thinking. That was the guy. That was the previous guy who got disqualified for that. But then Daniel, it was questionable whether he could continue or not. And then, oh God, I've watched that fucking film way too often, way too much.
Remember Lamar Luttrell from Revenge of the Nerds was in there, the gay guy?
No.
Oh, your mic went out. Was that?
Which one? As in the guy who played the nerd, as in the glasses in the Revenge of the Nerd. He was actually in
the gay black man from Revenge of the Nerds. He was actually one of the fighters.
Yes.
He was actually in I think it was Bloodsport also. I think he was in also. I think.
Might have been, but
Van Damme.
there was an actual guy who was a genuine bona fide karate guy. Who was a black referee. He was one of the referees. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, I saw the jacked guy.
Yeah. He's a genuine, like, he was like a fully bona fide karate guy. Man, we're talking about the Karate Kid way too much. Actually,
That's a good movie, man.
It is good. RCW says, don't Iranians wrestle? Yes, we do. Greco-Roman wrestling is huge in Iran. It's just a massive. It's a whole thing. There's literally myths about it. There's like stories and myths and legends of great wrestlers, how they defeated, like, David and Goliath. It's literally, there are stories about wrestlers of that level in Iranian mythos and storytelling. It's crazy. They love wrestling way too much. Now, admittedly, in Turkey, they have this thing called naked wrestling, naked oil wrestling, in which nowadays the modern version isn't naked anymore. They are they wear like some kind of jean type shorts, but the techniques that they use are still the techniques of, they're not allowed to grab the jeans because it's supposed to still be naked. So the method of throwing a person is by taking your middle finger and you pop it in their anus, and then you lift them and throw them, and that is still a thing. That still happens, even in the modern era, where you can see it. If you see the pictures of Turkish oil wrestling, they've got their hands in the back of each other's trousers, and that's to get the middle finger into the anus so that they can get a grip and be able to throw. Otherwise, you got to realize they're naked and they're oiled up. There's literally no way you can grip a person. There's no way you can hold on to the person. The only way to do it is pop a middle finger in their anus. That's the only way. It's got to be done. I mean, I'll be honest. You would question why you would have to have naked oil wrestling in the first place. But if you are going to have naked oil wrestling, then the only way to throw a man is to pop your middle finger in their anus. I'm sorry.
Speaking of wrestling, have you checked my channel ever?
I've seen. I checked your. Are you talking about the
pudding wrestling?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. I only thought you did metal detecting.
I did pudding wrestling in 1992.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Pudding wrestling. Okay, dude.
I was in high school.
Give me your channel again. Oh, actually, do you want to publicize it on this channel? Is it?
Hey, you can put it up. Fun with Dirt.
Okay, what's it called? Fun with Dirts.
It's right next to my name.
Dirts. Okay, guys, check out Fun with Dirts. But I'm gonna check it out just now. Fun Dirts. Oh, I'm not kidding. Fun with Dirt. Oh, Dirts. I put S at the end. That's why. Okay, let's check out, guys. We're gonna check out Fun with Dirt's channel for a minute. You're good, right? You don't mind us publicizing?
No, it's fine.
Let's see. I'm gonna go in and check out your pudding wrestling. Is that the thing?
Yes.
Okay. Let's share it with the audience. Now, I'm sorry, but again, you're gonna have to check out the main chat if you want to see it. But I'm gonna just. Okay, guys and girls. So where is it? Is it right at the beginnings or?
It's probably, I think, on the second. If you go to like the videos on like the main page or whatever, it's back a little bit further. You'll see. It's basically.
I'm at 4 years.
Yeah, you'll see exactly. It looks like a video game. I have the video game cover, so you have to go up a little bit more. Okay. Actually, back the other way. So those are the first ones. Those are my first videos. So yeah,
all right.
You'll identify it. It looks like a video game.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you go and check out Fun with Dirt's channel, he digs up amazing shit. Like this dude goes around metal detecting, and it's crazy the stuff that he comes out with.
There you go. Pudding wrestling's right there.
Wait.
Fun with Dirt. You just passed it a little bit under Snoopy.
Understood. This is the Fun with Dirt's. Where is it?
A little bit down more.
Is it
a little bit down.
Pudding right wrestling. Yes, I see it. Fun.
There you go.
Pudding wrestling. So what is?
Yeah, it was me in high school.
Wrestling. I have no idea what pudding wrestling is. Well,
pretty much they just fill the ring with pudding and they made us like kick each other's ass.
Oh,
That's me over there on the right.
Which one?
I'm the guy all the way to the right with the robe on, all the way to the right. That's me right there on the right.
So you're not the guy with the white shorts who's running around right now.
No, I'm in the black shorts. I'm the really skinny.
So you're the one getting in with the black shorts. Okay, you're getting in. You're getting in. There's a big guy in the ring as well.
Dude, that guy was fucking enormous. Big Ed. My cousin knocked him out boxing. He was like 140 pounds.
Bloody.
Yeah, that guy's box.
Crazy. Okay, so the guy with the white shorts went out. You're still in there. You're hopping around, doing your Bruce Lee thing. I'm like 120 pounds here also, so I'm very thin. But you're in good shape, man. You're in good shape.
Oh, dude, I was boxing all the time.
You're not actually wrestling the white shorts. You're wrestling someone else. Oh, I thought.
No, the other kid.
Oh, damn!
I would get my ass kicked by that guy. Actually, I did wrestle the big dude when I was younger. We made a movie, and that guy was in the movie, and he beat that living shit out of us. He wasn't supposed to, but he beat us up. We couldn't take him down.
Oh my god!
I made a movie
the camera so far away. Oh, wait a minute. It's a tag team. It's a tag team session. So you switched over. And actually, you see, you guys have got a good strategy. You guys are topless, whilst those other guys are wearing T-shirts, which gives you guys an advantage because you can grip them with their T-shirts, whilst they're idiots. Why did they actually not take off the T-shirt?
Fat kids. They had bad bodies.
Let me see. Yeah, they've got T-shirts on. Like, why do they have T-shirts? That's stupid.
Dude, the kid that I wrestled with on my tag team was called Captain Caveman because all he did was work out and he fucking grunted and shit.
Damn.
Like he didn't really talk.
Damn, but
he was just
he's in good shape. He's in good shape.
He's enormous. He was probably left back 3 times. I think he was supposed to be in college by then. He's jacked, man.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, he was a scary looking dude.
This is crazy. Is this the only time you ever did put in wrestling, or is there other put-in wrestling footage of you?
That's my only putting wrestling thing. We used to do boxing in our basement, but the school made us stop doing it because a lot of people got knocked out and stuff. But it was a lot of fun.
Injuries. I mean, it was kind of a fight club, but it wasn't.
Oh, our fight club was awesome because you wore a 6-ounce glove on one hand and a 12-ounce glove on the right, and whoever had to flip a coin, whoever got the one on the right hand, because we basically had different gloves. So whoever got the righty was lucky. Unless you were lefty, then you were then you could beat the person up.
All right. But the thing is, the 6-ounce gloves are very light. I mean, I work on the bags with MMA gloves sometimes, and compared to my 16-ounce gloves, because I've got a good pair of 16-ounce. The thing is, with the MMA gloves, you can hit and it moves a little bit faster, I guess, but it just doesn't make that crisp sound when compared to when I hit it with the 16 or the 14-ounce sort of gloves. They just make that clean slap, that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
our gloves used to explode. That's what used to happen because people were getting hit so hard they would just explode off the sides and shit. So
that is crazy.
It was a lot of fun though, learning and stuff like that. I mean, my brother was he was the toughest guy. So when he fought that guy in the ring, that gigantic fat dude, he hit him in the stomach and the fat dude's pants fell down. It was the funniest fucking fight you ever saw. He beat that dude in the ring in under, I think, 10 seconds. The guy gave up because my cousin beat the shit out of him. My cousin was only 140 pounds, and he was jacked, dude. I mean, he was my brother could just he just throw me around like a fucking rag doll. It was hilarious how much stronger the guy was. But
damn.
Holy cow,
damn,
yeah. I wish I could get my boxing tapes on tape, but I lent it to my best friend. But I boxed my best friend, and when I fought him, I beat the crap out of him, so he kept the tape, and all of a sudden, mysteriously lost it.
Oh yeah, no, this looks good, man. It's very funny. And what's the pudding? When you say pudding, what do they use for the pudding product?
It was a mixture of pudding, ice, and that day's lunch.
Oh my god, that's nasty.
Leftovers. So yeah,
that is nasty. Holy
it was
crap.
pretty gross, dude.
I thought it was just some kind of gel or some kind of like KY jelly or something rather than actual food.
Barely any cushioning, dude. My knees were killing me. I remember that day.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
It looks like my camera just suddenly turned off. Reason. I don't know why.
Your mic's going a little bit.
Is my mic? My mic good?
It just went off and on a little bit.
Oh,
there you go.
I don't know. Maybe it's maybe I'm getting connection issues, but no, my camera I think it's run out of battery. I think it. I because I usually it's not an actual webcam. It's a camera. It's like a regular camera. And I use a cable to run it. But okay, let me just quickly check it. You keep them entertained while I do that. And
okay, I'll tell them a story.
Yeah, discuss some of your adventures in
metal detecting.
Metal detecting, exactly. Guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, everybody, here's a funny story. Let's see. I went metal detecting, and we usually go knocking on doors because you have to get permission in America to metal detect, or you'll get in trouble. So I was metal detecting at this house, and we were knocking on the door, and we knocked on the door. The person answered the door, and he let us in the house and was very happy to see us, started showing us all of his stuff in his house. He had a lot of antiques. He was living in a very old house and stuff like that. So we were like, wow, it's really cool. And then he started trying to give us his, like, possessions and stuff. We were a little weird, but we just said no. We're like, we just want to metal detect the property. Like, we don't want your stuff, dude. He's like, all right, so, just metal detect the property. And when you're done, just come back to the house and show me all the stuff that you found. We're like, all right, cool. So we're out there for like, probably like an hour or two, metal detecting and stuff, finding a lot of cool stuff. And we go back to knock on his door to tell him what we found and all that. And when we knocked on the door, the guy opened the door and goes, who the hell are you? So like the whole time he didn't know who the hell we were, and like basically was like yelling at us and stuff like that to get off his property. And it was probably the most awkward thing because we already had his permission, but it was like from him from 2 hours ago, which was probably another person. It was very odd, but yeah, definitely a weird situation. And then one of the other houses we went to metal detect, and we thought it was an abandoned house. And when we got up there, the whole place looked like it was totally abandoned. The doors are wide open. It was like all overgrown. It was like a farm type property. So we walk up to the house and like we go to look in the door and there's somebody alive in there. We thought it was like a dead person, or like a person dying or something like that. We're like, we're like, hey, you all right? And the guy, like, he comes to life, and like we look and the guy's like all disheveled and stuff. I've never seen toenails this long in my life. The guy's toenails were like, probably like a foot long. And like, we're like, hey, how you doing? We're like, you're right and stuff like that, because it was really hot summer's day and all that. We asked him if we can metal detect his property, and the guy's like, all right, you can metal detect here. And we're telling him like he had a nice property. So we go to metal detect, and we go to our car, and we're setting up and basically start walking around the property. And all of a sudden, he comes walking up behind us and goes, what the hell are you doing? And we were like, we just asked you if we can metal detect here. He's like, get the hell off my property. And basically he was like, it was insane. We ran for our lives. We thought the guy was going to get a gun or some shit. Like we were just like, all right, let's get out of here. He thought there were cameras. He thought we were like a movie studio or something like that. He's like, where the hell are the cameras? We're like, what cameras? We didn't say cameras. We're like, we take a picture or two or something like that. But like, what are you talking about cameras? Like, he's like, where are the film crew? We're like, what do you think this is? Like fucking Oak Island here? It was probably the most awkward thing, like just with people. But yeah, America, like you get some wackos out here. Most of the Karens are Darrens. But yeah, you should definitely try metal detecting. So you should try metal detecting, dude. You'd love it. Well, you guys got the gold over there. You got more than us. Oh, unless you're a migrant. Stove. Someone's saying that you're muted on the chat, dude. Somebody RCW.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I muted myself. Oh, damn. I've been muted this whole time because I muted myself through OBS, and I could talk to you because we're on StreamYard, but they can't hear me in the stream. Sorry, stream. Sorry, guys. We've been chatting for about 10 minutes. Okay, start again. Simple. Long story short, I want to try out some of this camping equipment and survivalist equipment that I've been watching and buying in order to show the complete inept person like me, who is totally a basic guy, who has no idea how to survive in the wilderness. I mean, I know for a fact I would die in like 24 hours if I ventured anything outside of a well-controlled park that has food and water very close at hand. So I'm going to take the crap that I bought mostly off Temu, some from Amazon, and try it out in the jungle, in the wilderness, under the elements, with the wind and the cold and the rain and all that crap. So I'm going to start with some basic videos, and if someone like me can actually survive or use some of this equipment in the wilderness, then I think the rest of you guys have got a good shot at surviving. Because I am terrible. If I go to a place, if I go out, my idea of camping is when a hotel doesn't have 5-star room service. Okay, that's
I figured.
That's when I go camping. That's when I'm roughing it, living the rough life.
Camping.
Yes, yeah. When I go out, I only go to hotels and 5-star accommodations and swimming pools and jacuzzis and hopefully a good pedicurist or a masseuse is essential to most resorts that I go to. If they have a good pedicurist and a masseuse, I tend to get a pedicure when I go on holiday. Anywhere I go, that's my thing. It's like, well, it's became my thing. It wasn't my thing, but it's now a thing. Every time we go on holiday, me and my family or my friends, I'm like, dude, I get a pedicure wherever I go, because because I don't go to women's nail salons in Britain. It's ridiculous.
You bring your own equipment with you?
No. I go to like a resort, and most of these resorts have like these services. They have a masseuse services, pedicure, manicure, all of these things for women mostly. They're for spas, spa treatment. But I always take advantage of the pedicure service, and if they have a good masseuse. But I'll be honest, I've only come across a handful of places that really do a good massage. Not very, deep tissue massage, that kind of like really professional stuff. Most of these other places, like 9 out of 10 of them, they're terrible. They just do this like really like crappy little massage thing, and then they just go. Now, there was a place I went to in Republic of Czech which was a Thai massage. And now I know most people think Thai massages come with a happy ending. No, it's not that kind of a massage. This was not a happy ending kind of a massage, although it was a happy ending for me, because on the day of flying to Czech, I pulled my lower back. I got the sciatica thing, and I pulled it, and I was in huge pain throughout the whole flight and everything getting there. And when we landed, I said to my friends, I said, guys, I need to go somewhere and look, a doctor or someone who knows backs, because I pulled my back and I'm in huge pain and these painkillers are not working. And my friend said to me, I know a great Thai massage place in Republic of Czech. I said, dude, I don't need a place to have a happy ending. I've got my back really hurts. I need someone who knows what they're doing. Because trust me, this also true. These people are brilliant. We went, and he was right. It wasn't a happy ending in the sense of the other kind of Thai, but she cracked my back and my whole body in ways in which I had never experienced. I was in severe pain when she was doing it. I'm not kidding. There was like beads of sweat because I didn't want to like pussy out and cry, because I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. I was in that much pain. But, trying to hold it in, trying to not be a pussy, and just beads of sweat was just pouring from my cheek. And eventually she cracked legs, arms, back. She just you just held my body just keep cracking. She finished. I was in huge pain as I was walking out. I said to my friend, this woman killed me. I'm in more pain than I was before. What the hell? We had a cup of coffee, and literally, but before I finished the coffee, my whole body was pain-free. Everything in my body, I felt amazing. Everything worked. Every part of my body was in good shape. It was unbelievable. I have to find this woman again, and have this. If you ever do find a good osteopath, I guess, really do it, dude. Take advantage. It's so good. Your legs, your arms, all your joints, they just fix everything. It's
yeah. I've fucked up a lot of body parts, man.
We do it all our lives. We sleep in bad positions. We do sports or outdoors things, and we pull muscles, and we have all this inflammation in all our joints, which we don't even half the time pay attention to. But these guys, they sort you out. Have you ever seen it? It's a trend on YouTube, actually. It's part of YouTube Shorts, where these I guess, I don't know, these people who do things, they do it to dogs and to humans, where they're just wiggling their neck or whatever, and then they crack, and then all of a sudden the person is like, oh my God, that was amazing.
I think I did see that. It's just, I always heard just back and forth things about necks and stuff like that. So I'm very scared of somebody messing with my neck.
I know, same as well. I was actually scared. And now she didn't do a huge amount of my neck, but she did quite a bit in my back, because it was my lower back that was hurting a lot. But yeah, I mean, I know it's a bit you get a bit worried because you think these people could, freaking break your spine or something, and you end up paraplegic. But it was good. She knew what she was doing, man. She really did. My back was fixed in 10 minutes. Arms, legs as well. Everything felt fresh. I felt like I could just jump up and run.
I'm very, I'll say this. I'm very cheap. I'm probably the complete opposite of you. We're probably the odd couple when it comes to with life. I try to whenever I get injured and stuff like that, I'll actually just sit there and try to figure out what's hurting and try to push it back in if it's hurting and stuff like that. If it's messed up, and it usually works, because my sciatic is, dude, seriously, if you feel your body, you could feel. I'm very bony, so I can tell what the hell is misaligned or whatever on my back, and you could see a swollen or something like that. If you just start figuring out, you could just push it back into alignment, and that's what I've usually been trying to do for the past 10 years, probably, because I'm very cheap. I'm I resist to try to give somebody my money to do stuff like that. I could probably do myself, but I mean, in the long run, I probably end up hurting myself a lot of the times. But I'm very tight-wadded when it comes to cash.
I see your picture of this very vivacious woman in your avatar of One with Dirts. Where does that come from?
She's real.
It seems familiar.
She's real.
She's a real person.
Yes, she's a metal detectorist. She's a superhero. Also, she's a goddess in the metal detecting community. Her name is Diggin' Brit. Actually, she's been missing for almost a year now. So if you ever hear or see her, like, please tell us. We're very worried about her.
Wow. But obviously, I mean, this is based on a real person, so it's a drawing.
Yes.
Based on an actual lady called Digging Brit. Wow.
Yeah, she's a very popular metal detector. She's got the most subscribers in the metal detecting world for women.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she's got those kind of talents, she's a very talented woman. If she has that kind of talent, then yeah, she'll probably have a lot of not probably to do anything to do with metal detecting, but generally. But one thing the funny thing is this image, this reminds me of like a 70s or 80s, like some kind of like space character or like a movie, you know what I mean? Like a poster from a movie. This is why I thought this must be from some kind of poster or something that you got, but that's who made that then?
I made a collage of like multiple pictures and just put them overlapping one another. I took real metal detectors and other things, just threw them in together on it. Because I was doing it for my, for my website, like I was actually advertising other metal detectorists, and I had them. Their names were on the planets actually at first. I just basically have T-shirts and stuff like that, so it's just basically like stuff I took off the internet. But yeah,
interesting. Oh, I noticed you have a Masters of the Universe video. Is this yours? Did you just do a live stream?
Probably. I think that's mine. Oh yeah, I did that probably like a month ago.
The toy box.
Yes, I did that December.
Live stream discussion open panel. Is that you and someone? Is that you with the red cap or?
Yes.
Oh my God! Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, so you actually? I thought you were one of these people who don't like to put your face on the internet. But
no,
you're cool with that. You still put yourself out there.
I'm not repugnant or anything like that, man.
No. It's just that a lot of people, like if they use avatars, like you're using an avatar here, and I thought if you use avatars, most people who do that, they never put their face actually online.
Oh,
they just keep themselves anonymous completely. But it's like you actually know, you actually do. You're not anonymous. You actually do put yourself out there. It's just when it comes to these sort of panels and stuff, you just. Put yourself.
I'll tell you a secret. I know the people that are the ones that are the anonymous people out there that are hiding behind avatars like this. Very famous people. Yes.
Wow, as in famous in the sense of Hollywood famous or
comedy.
Oh wow, really?
Comedians. Yeah, I used to go on to radio shows and stuff like that back in from the 90s till probably I'd say 2012. I think the last time I went on a radio show. But the radio shows have pretty much moved on to podcast and radio, like YouTube channels, and it's basically turned into this thing called the Dabbleverse. So everybody from the Opie and Anthony show and Ron and Fez, which were like Howard Stern substitutes, but they were better. They have comedy pyramids and all those producers created their own types of YouTube channels and stuff like that. And it's all based around comedy. So there's a guy called Cardiff Electric. He's a potato, and he's probably one of the funniest ones with this guy called Tukey, who is basically a puppet like mine, but he's a real puppet. And they just sit there, and the Dabbleverse is all around Stuttering John from the Howard Stern show, because he's such a piece of shit that everybody spends their entire 24 hours a day watching his show and then mocking him relentlessly. It's really good. They order him food all the time. They order him non-alcoholic beer to his house and shit just to piss him off. And it's really good. The other show is Perry Caravello, where all they do is order the guy fish fillet sandwiches 24 hours a day just to get a reaction out of the guy.
They order fish fillet sandwiches. That's it. That's all they order.
They doxed them, so all of his viewers and stuff like that. He basically just came back into town last week, and they got him. I guess it was an Uber Eats or whatever got him at the freaking Walmart, and they put the food on top of the hood of his car, and he got out of his car and started chasing the guy and fell on the ground. It was pretty funny.
Bloody hell. Okay, yeah. Actually, I can see that you're so you this particular video that I saw. I know it's a bit of a tangent to. We started off with election year and all of that jazz, but I actually have been tempted to talk to someone about this, and this might be my only opportunity to talk to you. Masters of the Universe Revelations, or actually now Revolution.
Saw that.
Did you see the first one, Revelations?
No, but I saw that they were advertising those things about Skeletor and all that.
But have you actually seen any of the new Masters of the Universe, the Netflix series with the Kevin?
No,
Smith
not the
sort
Netflix.
of-
No, I was reading up on it though. I was trying to figure out what the newest the expand what they did to change it and stuff like that. That's what I was trying to figure out. But did you see it?
Well, yeah, I have seen both. It's actually technically 3 seasons. It's Revelation. There was Masters of the Universe Revelation season 1 and 2. So they break up these seasons or these shows into essentially they're one show, but they break them up into 2 seasons. So you've got like, I guess they release some of them during the winter months and then the rest through the summer months. And that's what they did with Revelations. They released 5 episodes and then they released the next 5 episodes some months later. And to be honest with you, both sets were terrible. They were just terrible, all of them, because they essentially... Woke? Yes, they wokeized He-Man. You see, the thing is, everybody's been waiting for... I mean, those who are into this shit, and I think 90% of my audience is now going to switch off and go to bed, because I love the 80s. I grew up in, I was a kid in the 80s. The first thing I saw in this country when I arrived in Britain was He-Man and Rainbow, which is another kids' TV show. And I love those. I love Thundercats. I love Visionaries. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you know which one I mean, the one with all the kids with all the special weapons and Dungeon Master.
Cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoons, the Saturday morning cartoons. I grew up on all of that crap.
Total.
And so for me is a massive nostalgia thing for He-Man to come back into the fold. Now, there was the New Adventures of He-Man, but I didn't really get into that. It just didn't strike me as the He-Man that I knew. So I never really get into the New Adventures. But these Netflix ones, they tried to make He-Man, or they drew He-Man as very similar to the 1980s He-Man, the Filmation He-Man. And they try to, I think, capture that side of the He-Man fan base rather than the New Adventures lot. And so I was really stoked for this one. I really was stoked for the new He-Man, and I wanted it to be great and to bring back, don't get me wrong, the old He-Man, the 80s He-Man, now when you watch it in retrospect, you're like, this is the gayest show on earth. I mean, no wonder the Filmation title was rainbow colored, because this is the gayest show I've ever seen. But it was still good. I still loved it. Did you ever read comics? I wasn't a big comic reading kind of guy. I never really got that much into comics. I actually bought some Turtles comics, but these were the Turtles before the Turtles had the multicolored headbands. They all had just red. Exactly.
Yep, I had that too.
That level of the Ninja Turtles. That's the Ninja Turtles that I initially, comic book wise, I saw. Very dark, very sort of shadowy and brutal as well. They used to murder
all
people.
Asian magazines I had.
Yeah, they used to murder people, these turtles. There's a reason they're called ninjas. They weren't goody two-shoes, beat people up without a single drop of blood. They used to slaughter people, these ninjas, these friggin' turtles. But then, they wanted to sell toys and make cartoons, so they had to, tone it down for the cartoons and the toys. But anyway, I digress. That's the He-Man or the Masters of the Universe that I wanted. Now, don't get me wrong. Did you ever watch the Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren?
Yes.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, not a great movie. Not a great movie. I will say, yeah, it missed the mark on several levels, but on nostalgia levels, it's actually quite good in like a bad movie to watch. You know what I mean? It's like a bad movie that was so bad that it's now good. That kind of weird situation. But it's not. Yeah, it's a terrible movie on like so many levels. But yet it's still captivated me even then, because at the time I remember a reporter saying this was Star Wars meets Conan the Barbarian. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe they went with, which was true. It was a kind of Conan the Barbarian and Star Wars amalgamated into one thing. Unfortunately, yeah, terrible movie. Script was awful. Acting, apart from the guy who played Skeletor, by the way, the guy who played Skeletor I thought was friggin' fantastic. He kicked it out of the park. But Dolph Lundgren is not a great actor, and Courtney Cox wasn't too bad. But overall, yeah, the movie sucked and the script was horrific. Anyway,
it should have taken place on Eternia. Why the hell
that's
is it
the other thing as well? The whole
here?
Here's a He-Man movie that's not even in Eternia. It's all on Earth for some weird reason. And the funny thing is, this is the weird thing about this this situation with the modern He-Man or the modern Masters of the Universe with Netflix. They captured the original He-Man look of the original 1980s cartoon. They wokeized the living crap out of it, unfortunately. But the funny thing is, in the second or the third season, should I say, the Revolution, in Masters of the Universe Revolution, rather than Revelation, they really took to heart the things that the criticisms that the fans made. Because the fans, people like me, we want to see He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, not Masters of the Universe, some random, whatever the hell you want, Teela the boss bitch. Nobody cares about Teela. Nobody
who got a lot of heat for that?
Sorry?
Who got a lot of heat for the He-Man movie was that Jay and Silent Bob guy, Kevin Smith.
Yes.
For lying to everybody. He told everybody it was going to be a great freaking movie, and it was such a piece of garbage that they went after.
Gaslighted everyone. He gaslighted us all. He did a bait and switch where they had the great, trailer. They made this super great trailer, and everybody was like, yes, bring it.
He didn't show up until like the 6th episode, right? He-Man or something like that?
No. He-Man was in the first episode. He gets killed, and then he's in the last episode. Pretty much.
Oh, you're a little out.
They kill He-Man in the first episode. They shank
that's
him
even worse.
From behind. Skeletor shanks him from behind. He then dies, and then 6 or 7 episodes later, I think, 5 or 6 episodes, Teela then ends up dying or somehow being teleported into the afterlife, into heaven, where all the warriors live, and then they find He-Man again. But of course, there's other He-Men as well, because this is what's called the Champion, who protects Grayskull. And there have been many champions over the centuries. And so then you meet all these other... And of course, the main champion, this is the other wokery shit about it. Not only Teela is quote-unquote non-binary, I would say, in the movie. She's got muscles like men. It's just horrific. Yeah. The first season, this is the first 2 seasons. This is Revelation, not Revolution. The new one that's just come out.
Order at arms, then.
Yeah. The new, but that's the thing. She becomes man at arms at the very first episode. She's being inaugurated or whatever, being called into, and man at arms. Duncan, he's retiring. That's the whole theme of the first thing. So they basically cut out all the men in the first 2 episodes. There's literally
people that build.
Yeah, pretty much anyone who actually anyone cares about, because no one. I mean, Teela is a side character. Has always been a side character. She's a supporting character. She's what?
She's He-Man's piece.
Exactly. He's his side piece, main piece, whatever. And she's always been the side, but she's always been the side character. She's been a part of the team, not focal like the protagonist. Protagonist is He-Man. Everybody wants He-Man, and Man at Arms and the others. Anyway. The thing is, they kill off He-Man, they shank him. Man-at-Arms gets fired by the king as being the man-at-arms for not telling the king that He-Man was actually Adam. So he gets shelved. You don't see him either until the last couple of 2-3 episodes. You don't see the king even. It all just becomes Teela and her journey, and how much of a boss bitch she is with her quote-unquote friend, possible lover, which is a female. So they give you this insinuation that Teela is essentially a lesbo, muscled up, jacked up lesbo, all roided up. Her friend is kind of roided up as well. And everybody hated it. And they crucified Kevin Smith for it, and he was all crying about, oh no, but it's not that bad. Anyway, in this new one though, they learned their lesson, man. Kevin Smith especially must have learned his lesson. He got an ass whooping in that last one. So this one, there is He-Man from the beginning to the end. Every episode, there's a He-Man. Every episode, He-Man appears in every episode. It's like I don't think there is even a single episode where he doesn't. Don't get me wrong; they're still woke. Here's something I want to tell you: the wokeness. When they go to the afterlife, when they go to heaven, the first champion of Grayskull. Guess what color he is?
Black.
Yes.
Don't even have to ask, dude.
Of course he is.
He's gonna be the strongest of the strong, and he's gonna be the smartest of the smartest, and he's gonna be the one that made everything and invented everything, and even invented air.
The greatest champion of all champions that Grayskull had ever had. The first champion of Grayskull is a black dude. Is a people of color, an APOC. What a shock! What a freaking shock! I never saw that.
You know what I think his power is? I think his first power was that he has the power to bring down the property value of any neighborhood he moves into. Ooh.
He has the power to carjack you at any given moment.
He has the power to say the N-word and not get in any trouble.
I am amazed. I'm amazed Chaotic Truth hasn't actually caught on this one. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe I guess he doesn't watch this kind of crap, but he should. He would be all over that. He would be all over the first champion of Grayskull to be of a person of color.
God. Remember they made Kingpin? Remember Kingpin was black? They made him, it's like he's Italian.
No, Kingpin was white, and then in the Daredevil movie, they got a black actor to play Kingpin.
Michael Clark Duncan, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes. It was the one with with thingy, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Oh my God.
Daredevil. But luckily they switched that with the Netflix Daredevil, and they kind of went back to its original roots. Oh no, Kingpin is white again. It was he was white in the comics. He became black in that one movie. Then he became white again, and he's all white now. So
did he just get a dark tan or something? Is that probably what happened?
Don't get me wrong. The guy they used as an actor for Kingpin, I really like him as an actor. He's a great actor. I think he's dead. Yeah, he's passed away now. But he was a good actor. He was a good, I liked his movies that he was in. But
Planet of the Apes, I think he was in.
Yes, he was the big gorilla, which is a little bit insulting, I would imagine. But nevertheless, it is what it is.
I heard he just didn't shave.
Oh fuck, man! You're gonna get my shit banned. I'm gonna get fucked for that one. You think
I'm black? What are you talking about?
I can't get away with this sort of shit, dude. I'm gonna get fucked for that line. I do not endorse what he just said.
I have Tourette's.
I do not condone. I in fact condemn. Oh fucking! I'm gonna get so fucked for that line, because the thing is, unlike Chaotic's channel where he gets away with all of that, I can't get away with any of that shit. I'm way too Caucasian for that shit. I get crucified.
Iran's close enough.
Channels.
Actually, Roseanne's got in trouble for making fun of an Iranian person. That's how she lost her job. She thought they were black.
Who lost?
It was in Roseanne when she got fired from Roseanne. She went after an Iranian official that she thought was black. Yeah, she was Iranian.
Really? I thought she was.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No. She didn't think she was black. She thought she was white. But she actually was of a person of color. But she's Iranian. Is that what she was?
Yeah, the woman was Iranian.
Because Roseanne says, I looked at her. I didn't think she was black. I thought she was a white woman. Because Iranians do look like a white people.
They were trying to say that lady was the old leader of Iran, that guy that got taken out that used to wear like the regular suit jacket with the big mustache.
Oh no! You're talking about Iraq. Oh, that's Saddam Hussein.
No, Iran. No, Iran. Their leader, not the Ayatollah, but the other guy, the guy that wears the suit.
No, but that's the thing. The previous previous ruler of Iran was the Shah. He actually didn't wear.
That's what I'm saying.
But he didn't. He wore suits. Admittedly, he wore suits. Sometimes he wore military outfits. He wore the royal outfit. I suppose. Yeah. I mean, it's a mix. It's like the king of Prince King Charles. If you look at King Charles, he doesn't wear suit. He doesn't wear his royal outfit all the time. He wears suits. He wears military.
Mahu Adim, I think it was that Manhu Adim. That guy, Aham or whatever. Yeah, he has a mustache and like he has his hair cut really short and stuff. He doesn't wear all those turbans and stuff. He basically wears like a suit jacket. I think they arrested him. He was a former president.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Are you talking about
Yeah.
Ahmadinejad? Oh, he's the president of Iran. He was the president
That's the
of
guy.
Iran.
They say that guy was the guy that turned into that woman here. Isn't that weird?
I don't. Yeah, that's messed up. Mahmoud Ahmadi. Yeah, no, Mahmoud
I can't pronounce any like that
is
name.
he was just the president, because Iran has this sort of system. It's not a kingdom like Britain. You know, Britain is a constitutional monarchy, but they have what we have is a supreme leader, which is Khamenei. I forgot his first name.
Okay.
And then we have presidents which come and go, which get elected, because the supreme leader, he's there forever. Well, he's there until he dies. Okay. It's a permanent position. But the people below him, presidents of Iran and all of that, they get elected. They have election cycles. So Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, yeah, he was the president of Iran for a while. But yeah, he's gone now. But I had no idea that this woman was supposed to be Iranian even. I thought she was yeah. Anyway, back to He-Man. Yeah, the main thing, apart from the fact that the greatest of all champions of He-Mans was a black man. Yeah, Teela basically becomes the main character, and then she becomes the sorceress, because the original sorceress now dies. And the whole thing is just women. And no, not only that, when the original sorceress dies, Skeletor gets hold of the sword, the magic, the power sword. He becomes He-Man. He becomes the champion or whatever. He becomes powerful.
Finally.
And then the evil Lynn steals the sword from Skeletor, and then she also becomes jacked up as well. So she's this jacked up sorceress of Grayskull, because at that moment He-Man is dead and Skeletor runs Grayskull. He basically takes over, and he makes Evil Lynn the sorceress, and then she gets the sword. She gets all jacked up. She starts kicking at Skeletor's ass, and then Teela and at some point Teela and Evil Lynn start to fight, because she becomes like, she gets the powers of the sorceress. Teela does, but then she also is trying to convince Evil Lynn to fight Skeletor and get rid of him. And then they bring finally, towards the end of the final episodes, they bring Adam from the heavens. They literally drag him from heaven back down to earth to kick Skeletor's ass. And then there's this weird scene or weird section where Evelyn and Teela are fighting in the sky, because they're all flying, and He-Man and Skeletor are fighting on Earth, like on the ground, and it just keeps cutting between them two. Anyway, the whole thing is a giant fucking shit show. It's horrific.
I can imagine.
Oh God. But the second season, or at least the third season, but second segment, second chapter, I guess, it does get a bit better, much more He-Man-y. Teela is still, as the sorceress, she has her own little adventures, side quests, but they focus on him a bit more. But I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think about, because the reason I'm going into this is because of your video about, Fun with Dirts, and you're talking about the toys. What was this thing? Because I haven't seen the episode, but what were you guys just talking about superhero toys, or were you talking about the sort of modern incarnation of these characters?
Oh, I was examining all of the toys that my parents, when we were growing up, the first toys that we were exposed to, and how our parents basically, we're basically a Christian society over here in America and stuff like that. Our parents were buying toys that had sinister backgrounds behind them. Like Skeletor was walking around with like I think it was a goat head on like that staff and all that stuff, doing like and like the Smurfs, they were doing like incantations and stuff like that. All like, like stuff that, would be considered, taboo in the Christian society. And like, you'd be considered sinning or doing, worshiping like false deities and, like Satan worshiping pretty much. They showed Gargamel in a pentagram in one of the Smurfs. So,
really?
Wow. Yeah, dude, it gets really weird stuff,
but
man.
You're right about the Skeletor's. It's a ram's head, I think. It's a curled. So that's used. Or similarly used for Satan worshipping, exactly. That's a
So,
huge
yeah.
thing.
And the weird thing about He-Man also, you know what He-Man's power is? His real power is?
No, what?
That he's half American.
Oh, of course, his mother is American because she comes
That's
over.
what we
on a
always
rocket.
say. Yeah, we always said that when we were little. But like, he's half American. That's his real power, not the sword. Power of freedom. He brought
He's
freedom
half
over there.
American is his real power but the thing is, you see, they always refer to her as an Earthling. They never really mention where she's from, but of course,
Oh, she's from
American.
NASA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's from NASA. She was on. She got her name and everything and stuff like that. She's basically, I think she's Midwestern.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Midwest.
Very weird.
So He-Man's real true power is the fact that he's American. America.
And that's what we always say. We always bust balls. Also, the weirdest part about He-Man is that He-Man had a sister, a twin sister, that the parents didn't give two shits about, and we're just like, okay, He-Man's our son. And like they didn't realize that basically Hordak, Skeletor's basically like boss, basically was fighting She-Ra. He kidnapped her, and they were like, all right, our daughter is fine to be kidnapped. They didn't do anything about it until like years later, until they made She-Ra.
Yeah, they never even
all of a
mentioned
sudden-
her, by the way. They like
She was a grown adult.
They never mentioned it. What's her name? Oh man,
Princess. What the hell was Tila's? Or well, I don't know her name actually.
Edora.
Layla, maybe.
Edora.
Adora. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, She-Ra's like a regular civilian name is Adora. Now, Adora, yeah, exactly. Adora gets kidnapped by Hordak, and yet throughout the entire seasons and series of He-Man, not even one side passing mention that we had a daughter that got kidnapped by some fucking monstrous ogre. Can we think about maybe not even like one moment where like the mother the queen or the king goes, He-Man, could you please see if you can find our missing kidnapped daughter as an infant by some monster? Could you look into that at least?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the problem with retroactive stuff. This is the problem with time travel. This is the problem with retconning. It's because they never thought about She-Ra when they were making this little He-Man toy. They were like, we're going to make a toy of this powerful man that's going to kick ass, and we're going to sell a shitload of toys. And that's it. And then they thought, oh, this thing is really taking off. Maybe we should make something for the girls.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the Tila versus the She-Ra toy, Tila has like a solid head on her, and with the She-Ra has like hair that girls can comb and stuff like that.
Yeah, you see what I
so
mean?
it's like geared towards very
of
weird.
course,
But
She-Ra was made for the little girls because they're like, okay, we're doing well with this He-Man thing is taking off, it's crazy good. Let's now make something for the girls. So they retroactively went in, and that's what I mean. They don't really think about these things. Like, for example, Skeletor's story. Initially, Skeletor was some kind of demon who came from some Skeletor demon world onto Eternia and wanted to get the power of Grayskull for himself. But he wasn't from Eternia. He was from some other demon world where they are all skeletons like that, like Skeletor. But then in the New Adventures, Skeletor's story then changed to become where he was actually I forgot his name. Sorry?
Keltor, his uncle.
Keltor, exactly, who is the uncle of Adam and a brother or a half brother or something, because he's blue, so he can't possibly be a genetic brother, like full genetic brother of
you know what happened? I think
the king.
I think I know what happened. What happened with those? The story was, I think the story was written before the toy was made or something like that. And then after the toy was made, they basically had to create new toys or whatever. So they basically just redid the story to make new toys or whatever to go along with it.
Exactly.
So to sell to kids or whatever.
They're like, okay, we've got all the characters from He-Man. Now we need to introduce new characters. How do we do that? Where do we go? Boom. So this is the problem. They don't think about these things as they go, like this wasn't all fleshed. You see, the problem is a lot of people think like this was all written out before, like Lord of the Rings or something, where it was all fleshed out. It was all thought out. The whole world was created. All the backstories of the characters were already there. And then they started making cartoons and toys out of it. No, somebody said, let's make a Conan the Barbarian toy. We can't use Conan the Barbarian because of some copyright issues, so we'll make this thing called He-Man. and then start selling
Exactly.
it. And actually, from what I understand, the toy actually came out before the cartoons and the movies, because they wanted to use the cartoons as a vehicle to advertise, to sell the toys. That's what the cartoons were. Just to promote. Essentially, the cartoons are infomercials for these plastic pieces of junk.
You would get a little comic book with each one action figure and stuff that actually had the story that you were referring to with Skeletor and the Beast and stuff like that. So it was a comic book that they were just saying that it was, it was pretty good. I mean, I think I still. It's weird that to remember that stuff, but it's yeah.
But that's the thing; it impacts your life. And this is, by the way, this was exactly the same with Transformers. They had the toys, then they made the cartoons to sell the toys. And so that's why the Transformers story doesn't really have a very well-defined backstory either. They have this vague outline of a story, but then nobody really knows why the Cybertronian Wars started or what happened. How the hell did these fucking robots came to be?
Oh, we do know. This is even crazier. It happened at the end of Transformers. They kind of explained it, that they're created by the same exact people, both sides, just to kill each other, because they were like an abomination, just to like entertain. Like I think the overseers or overlords. They were like a guy with like 5 heads or whatever. So like they were created, and their memory was kind of like just wiped out, and they just kept on thinking they had to go back to Cybertron. But it was just like like a hidden memory.
But that's the thing. That's stuff. All retroactive. That's like they're trying to retcon all of that into because they never thought about this crap when they were making this stuff. They were like, look, we have these weird toys. We want to sell them. We got to make a cartoon like He-Man and sell them. Yeah. And that's it. So the toys come, the cartoons come, and then the story starts to get fleshed out, and people start to like, okay, we have to now create some kind of background story to these things. That's why half of it doesn't make sense, or is chopped and changed, and it's all like weird, what do you call it? Continuity errors. They have all sorts of continuity problems because they're not thinking about all this crap ahead of time. This is why
that happened on.
Yeah,
no, sorry.
This is why the Queen and the King never gave a crap about their missing daughter until the show came out.
Well, have you ever seen the television show The Odd Couple with Tony Randall and Jack Klugman?
Which one?
The Odd Couple.
Oh, I saw it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. What happened with that?
They pretty much like, I guess they thought they were going to go off the air every year, so they made like multiple shows of them meeting different ways. So you watch the show, like one season they meet a different way almost in every way. Like they go back to like when they were kids or whatever, trying to figure out when they met one another. And they just keep changing it. It's very weird that like they thought they were going to get canceled, so they made them, like figure out how they met one another, and then the year after they did it again. It's very odd, like the way you were talking about. They couldn't, nothing like fit together. The whole show was just basically like thrown together. It seemed like they just kept on making shit up.
Exactly, they just write it as they go along, and then they suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute. Now we want to introduce this. And this is why a lot of these stories, this is why actually things like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones works, because Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, admittedly, Game of Thrones, unfortunately, was because R.R. Martin hadn't finished it. They screwed up the last season, or actually screwed it up from like I think season 5 or 6 onwards, because they were just making that crap up as they went along. They didn't have like a solid written work. They just had outlines given to them by R.R. Martin. That's why Game of Thrones ended so badly, because it wasn't finished. So the producers just made up their own crap. Whilst Lord of the Rings was finished, it was a complete work, and it was fleshed out. All the characters were thought deeply about, and the world was fleshed out. Everything was done. The only thing the movie makers had to do was translate the medium from book to movie. They didn't have to work that hard to flesh out the characters. Same with Harry Potter. Harry Potter works for the same reason, because J.K. Rowling created everything already. They just had to convert the books to movies. That's it. They didn't have to write anything, because modern Hollywood writers are crap. They are terrible. They are woke and they are shit. That's why all these shows, these Marvel, Disney Plus shows, and all these new Marvel movies, they're all bombing. They're all crashing because modern Hollywood writers are shit and they can't write. They don't know how to flesh out stories. And not only that, I don't even think they even have the time. They get given like months and days to write an entire TV show, while someone like, Tolkien took years probably to write. I'm sure it took him years to write Lord of the Rings. He didn't just pick up a pen and write Lord of the Rings overnight. He wrote The Hobbit way before that, and The Hobbit was kind of like giving himself
just like it.
Yeah, but, well, it was building up to Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? He was giving himself kind of like that was his training ground essentially to get the feel for how to write maybe Lord of the Rings. So The Hobbit, and he wrote all these other things, but it took him months and years. And R.R. Martin from the Game of Thrones, he's still finishing the damn books. He still hasn't finished the dance of the whole Lord of the Game of Thrones thing, and now he's flipped back to the House of Dragons. But I think he'd already written those. Are those already finished? The House of Dragons books.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of deep lore about it, but I'm sure there's some geek on the internet that will tell me at some point. But the fact is that House of Dragons, Game of Thrones, these things are deeply thought about. All the different aspects, all the different elements have been thought through. They're not just picking this crap up as they go along. Now, you can see that when you see, for example, when they try to make Lord of the Rings, the TV show from Amazon. And that's a pile of crap because they're essentially rewriting or reimagining the Lord of the Rings lore. But these writers are crap and they don't have the deep sort of life experience and the understanding of Tolkien's work in such a way to be able to do it justice. So they're just writing shitty series because it's just money. It's just a money-making IP now. And that's the other problem as well, is that these large corporations, Disney and Amazon and so on, they don't care about these things. This isn't a work of love for them. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going into this with their heart and their soul devoted to this lore. No, they're just there. Like, how do we make money? And people, some of these fucking nerds, basically, there's some executive, Bezos or whoever, what's his name? Bob Iger, sitting with a fat cigar going, these fucking nerds make a shitload of money and we need to take some of this money off them. How do we do that? Because these nerds pour a ton of money into this crap, and right now they're spending it all on, I don't know, World of Warcraft or whatever this nonsense crap that these little fucking nerds are doing. How do we get the money off them?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's their whole thing, is how do we squeeze money out of these nerds that are pouring their heart and soul? But the problem is, they don't understand. Someone who loves Star Wars, I'll be honest, I've never been that committed to any of these things. I'm not a collector of any of these, toys or any of this crap. I just like, admittedly, I do have Transformers toys, but that's from when I was a child. But I still have them. I've got the original Soundwave with the tape shit.
Oh, I like that one, man. I like Soundwave.
I love Soundwave.
I like that purple one, too. Remember the purple one that was just like it was a gun?
Oh, my God, yes. What was his name? Cyclops. I think it's Cyclops. He has a single eye, but he turns into this weird gun. Yeah.
Yeah, like laser.
The two that I regret not getting was an original Megatron and an original Optimus Prime.
I had both those when I was little.
Oh, I should have got those and kept them.
Oh, I had all my toys, and then when we moved out of my house, my fucking tenants moved in and their kids stole all my fucking toys.
Oh, shit. Those bastards.
Dude, years later, I got even with the dude. Like, he's in jail for 10 years, I think, assaulting a police officer.
Holy
dude.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, his mother was a cop, too. That was the weird thing.
Bloody hell. You see, that's how it is, man. Sometimes when the parents are themselves cops, their kids go off the rails, They don't
She was garbage, or the mom was a piece of shit, too. She was basically one of those fake prostitute cops that just pose in the streets. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nasty.
yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But yeah, I still have some of the toys, but generally I'm not that much into it. But I can see it from a perspective of someone, for example, the Star Wars thing. Someone who's been a Star Wars fan since they were a child in the 80s, and now they're in their 40s and 50s, but they still love Star Wars, and they've just been engrossed in the whole lore of Star Wars. And now some money-hungry piece of crap comes along and just takes a giant shit over this thing that you've invested your childhood and your adulthood and your midlifehood on this sort of, you know, adventure or on this prospect, and someone comes and just shits on it, disrespects it. No wonder. And then they keep saying, oh, the Star Wars fans are toxic. No, they like the thing that they like, and you're taking a shit on the thing that they like. So of course they're not going to like you. You expect them to just sort of sit back and go, oh no, carry on. Just disrespect everything I love about this franchise. Take a giant shit on everything I love about this thing that I invested years of my life. Not only years of my life, but money. I bought your shit. I bought your figurines. I bought your little fucking Millennial Falcon toys. I bought all your shit. And I invested my life into this lore because I love this. This is a form of, I don't know, source of escapism for me. And now you're just going to take a shit on it and then expect me to just be okay with that. No, I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm going to fucking ruin you. And this is it. This is what they've done. This is what they do to these franchises, is money people who don't give a shit. Half the time, I swear to God, I saw a clip the other day where someone put a clip, a montage of all these directors and writers who write for these Marvel and Star Wars shows. They don't read the comics or the books or any associated things to it. They haven't got a clue what actually happened in those comics. They just make the fucking movie.
Have you ever seen that woman, singer Avril Lavigne, the punk singer?
Yeah.
When she first became a punk rock singer, they asked her, like, I guess a couple of punk bands, and she's like, "What bands are those? I'd never heard of them." They were like the Ramones. She's like, "Do you like?" She didn't know the Sex Pistols. She didn't know any punk bands. They were just like, "You're a punk rock singer," but dude, they say they cloned her. She's like basically got the fountain of youth for like basically all like the singers and stuff like that. Because she's looked hot the entire time. She's never gotten fat.
Yeah, it's good genetics. You see, that's the thing. What they do is she is a corporate machine, essentially. She's a product. She's not a human being that did this as a labor of love. You see, you know the bands that you see that are just into the shit that they're into: Metallica, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Ozzy Osbourne, and Black Sabbath. When you see these guys, Rolling Stones, they love this shit. They would do this shit even if you didn't give them a penny. Even if they had to still be doing this in their garage, they'd still do it because they loved what they did. They loved their music. Everything they did was a work of passion and heart. And then there are these corporate fucking robots where a bunch of people sit around and go, okay, we know that these kids love this punk shit. Now we need to get a good-looking girl who can sing a little bit, but we'll auto-tune her shit anyway, and we'll stick her out there, and we'll promote the shit out of her, and we'll make these little shits buy her shitty albums and give us a ton of cash, and that's what they do. Taylor Swift. I was literally listening to a bunch of guys comment about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is an okay singer. There's nothing really that spectacular about Taylor Swift. But the corporate machine has made her into a thing. She is.
Look up Oscar the Grouch and Taylor Swift. They're all over the internet. This character I am right now, all over. I got so many of Taylor Swift and Oscar the Grouch. I couldn't believe it.
Why? Why is that? Why are they related?
She's suing people over AI sex pictures of herself recently. Like they generated all over.
Yes, they made an
Oscar is one of them.
Image of her having sexual encounters with Oscar the Grouch. Yes. Sorry, I just clicked. Yeah.
It's
Oscar the Grouch and Taylor Swift. Yeah, it's a thing.
She was good.
Was she as good as advertised? Funny enough,
Her legs
YouTube,
went all the way up,
man,
as they
Google
say.
has scrubbed the shit out of that, man. There is a few images, but not many.
Wow. You guys get completely different results as us. I get
Yeah.
like thousands of Taylor Swift results.
No, we don't get that
Mostly
many. I
did,
have
like, New
found
York
it, though.
servers.
I have found it, and there's also that crab from. There's actually seems to be images of that crab from SpongeBob, also with Taylor Swift in compromising positions. So it wasn't just Oscar the Grouch and Taylor Swift. But yeah,
what she told
most of
me.
it
I was
is-
the only one.
Oh my god, this is so realistic. I can't even show
Right?
this on the main chat. Sorry, guys.
I know.
You guys are gonna have to just Google this shit for yourselves because I can't really show you this. But it's crazy how well it's been created. It's so realistic. Fucking hell. This AI thing is
that
gonna
the
cause
Chat
some
J-
serious shit.
That Chat GPT or whatever, I think half these people are putting their freaking movie scripts into it and just making sequels through that way.
Dude,
'Cause they're so
100%.
shitty.
I will guarantee you that not just now because this is very new. You know, 5 years, 6 years down the road, there will be literally Chat GPT movies coming out straight up.
George Carlin's on it.
George Collins, as in, how do you mean George Collins?
AI.
Oh, as
the
in-
AI, his entire act.
Really?
On there, and they're suing him. Yeah, his family's suing, I guess, because it sounds just like him. But I guess the guy, I don't know if the guy did a better job, like the AI did a better job than him or not, but I don't know. I didn't listen to it. I just heard comedians.
You can write jokes in the style of X. You can, yeah. I mean, I did that. Tell me a joke in the style of Dave Chappelle. Tell me a joke in the style of Ricky Gervais, and yeah, George Carlin easily, I would imagine, and Bill Hicks, and oh my God, that
Dice.
Or Dice. You mean Andrew Clay Dice?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I was thinking Richard Pryor.
Oh.
Eddie Murphy. I'm sure you'll be able to, write jokes in their styles all the time. I mean, I'm sure ChatGPT will be able to do that. I'll be perfectly honest. I only did Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais because they were the two that was highlighted. Actually, somebody said you can. I asked it to write me jokes in these styles, and it did. It's all right. They're not great jokes. They were kind of like dad jokes, to be honest. They weren't that edgy because ChatGPT is heavily stifled to be very woke and very left. If you actually,
that sucks.
Yeah. ChatGPT is a leftist AI. It's not. If you ask it, what do you think about Donald Trump, and then ask it, what do you think about Barack Obama, and see the results. I actually posted some of the results some time back. ChatGPT is a leftist AI. It's been told by the programmers to be very leftist and very left biased. So you're not going to get edgy stuff from ChatGPT.
That's very weird. I never even messed with it really. I just kept on seeing people talking about it and like all the things that having problems with it back here and there with the suing people over it.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's really interesting stuff, though. I mean, to have that like just working. If it really imagine if it's just some freaking guy with the initials AI, like Al freaking what the hell is it, Eisenberg at home, like doing like all the typing himself or something like that. He's basically just getting like he has like a backlog of all the things and just like inventing all this stuff. He's on cocaine constantly.
Crazy.
And he's actually the AI.
Yeah, easily. But I think in the next few years, especially, and what I'm worried about is actually defamatory, pictures and videos, just like this Taylor Swift thing. It's going to get better.
Fakes.
Yeah, deep fakes, and also like videos of people saying things that they never said.
That's Mark Dice predicted all that coming.
Yeah. Oh, Mark Dice. Yeah. When you said Dice, did you mean Mark Dice or Andrew Clay Dice? Because I was thinking Andrew Clay.
It's Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay. That's it. Andrew Dice Clay, and then there's Mark Dice. Yeah. Because I mean, you know who I'm talking about when I say Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's funny. He's good. The thing is, to me, he only had this one act though. That douchebag kind of biker.
Dude, he was on. You remember the television show Different Strokes?
Yes.
Yes. He was on Different Strokes. He was Crazy Larry on that. He went out with Kimberly.
That's true.
And he bullied Willis.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. But for me, the whole of Andrew Dice Clay was just that one rock and roll guy. And did you ever watch a film called Ford Fairlane? He made a film called Ford Fairlane. Oh, that was awesome.
God,
that was so good.
Yeah, he was.
It's terrible, but yet good at the same time. That's where I got the term trans testicle from, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was very vicious in his day when he used to go. He was allowed to go after all the races and stuff like that back then.
Everything. I mean,
but the thing about him is he's a Jewish guy pretending to be Italian.
Yes,
he's like the Fonz.
Yes,
that's what he is.
That's it. A Jewish guy pretending to be the Fonz is essentially that. That's the character.
Well, the Fonz was a Jewish guy pretending to be Italian, also.
Yeah,
Henry Winkler.
True. Oh my God,
that's what we call the
Fonz. Actually, true. Oh my God, yeah. They're basically the same character. They're just different people.
Exactly. One gets to swear.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Andrew Dice Clay was the adult version of the Fonz. He was the raunchier version. He was essentially what Fonz would be if he wasn't in fucking Happy Days. Happy Days just couldn't allow him to be that kind of, that raw kind of character. But of course, that's what the Fonz essentially would have been. Oh my God!
The weird thing about the Fonz, man, that Henry Winkler guy, he's like a real like femme guy in real life and stuff. Like he made that television show MacGyver. Remember the guy that doesn't use guns?
Yeah.
And he basically uses his head the whole time. He wrote that whole entire thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
He actually
MacGyver was a massively successful show.
Yeah. That was a great show. I love that MacGyver show. They did a remake of it. Did you ever see that?
I never saw the remake. I've never seen the modern.
They got a midget in it.
Are you kidding me? They have a midget.
No, they got the midget's the boss. The midget's the smartest person in the fucking thing, and she runs everything, even though she can't get her fucking papers off the top shelf.
Oh my God!
She needs help to get papers, but she can run everything.
I never saw the new ones. I only saw the ones with the guy who also was in Star Trek, Stargate, SG-1 or whatever that they made. The series.
Oh. I'm thinking of the guy Stargate. That's Anthony Edwards, right?
I think so. I don't know his name, but he basically, when they made MacGyver, after MacGyver, that guy from MacGyver.
Yeah. Oh, Dean Anderson. Yeah, Dean Anderson.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about MacGyver. Yeah, I watched some of those. MacGyver is really good, but it was just his mullet what got more famous than his show.
Yes. There you go.
I'm surprised he didn't do anything with his hair. That would have been awesome if he shaved his head and turned it into some sort of device where he glued his hair together and did something like a knife or something. But he was definitely weird because he never won't touch that hair.
But yeah,
Cuba Gooding Jr. was in there.
Cuba Gooding,
on the show.
Yes, the original. But this is the new one I've noticed, which is between 2016 and 2021 they revamped it. The thing is, they relaunched a lot of these old shows. They relaunched Quantum Leap. They've done MacGyver.
I haven't seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen any of them. I'll be honest. I just never. I don't know. I don't want to. It's this weird thing is.
V was good. Did you watch V?
No, I never saw that either. The remake.
Ooh.
Really?
Good.
Was that good?
It's probably better than the first one. Awesome, because I got this hot chick that was Deadpool's girlfriend.
Oh,
remember Deadpool's girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh my God, she's the one in V. She's the main woman. I gotta watch it. I gotta start watching it again. But I mean, to watch that show because I watched the original series of V and I loved it.
What's even better is she's hot and she's got a hotter daughter in the movie. It's like she likes to breed in the movie. Let's just say that the old lady.
I gotta get on that. I gotta get on that one then, because I never saw the remake of V, MacGyver, all of these, Quantum Leap. Because I you see what the problem was for me. I love the original so much. I don't want it to be ruined by the remakes because the remakes very rarely in this modern era. I find remakes of anything has always turned out crap. And so I just I don't want it because I think that if I watch it and it's shit, it taints my memories of the original.
Like Knight Rider 2000, that was fucking garbage, man.
I never saw that. Oh. I saw, I think, a clip of an episode on YouTube where the car now, kit changes its entire structure to become different cars. Was that the thing?
I think it was just either a Mustang or a Camaro. I thought it was.
Oh no! In that case, we may be talking about different. No, the Knight Rider 2000 was the red one. Was that the movie, the TV movie one, where there was a red car?
Yeah, I think it was. I wasn't sure if it was red. I thought it was black still. I could have sworn. Let me check.
You see, this is the problem. There's like been so many of this Knight Rider thing because there was a movie still with David Hasselhoff that was made, a TV movie where they moved Kit's brain from that black car to a red, like super.
Oh shit! You know what? I never saw that.
Yeah.
I just checked that. They put him in a freaking a Firebird frame with red. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the other remake. I'm thinking about the remake in 2008. That's what I was talking about.
Now, I think that's the insane one where Kit can actually change his shape and become other cars. Because I saw one where he becomes like a truck or a sports car or other things. So he's like he can manipulate his molecular structure.
Okay.
And that was like some weird shit. But I never saw the whole. Like I never saw any of the episodes. I just saw bits of that.
I see it actually. I'm looking at the little tiny bits here and there, but like I'm trying to see what the difference. Yeah, they totally put him in a Firebird or something like that. That's with that different fronts on it.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's
that thing was fun to drive. Those things. My friend's girlfriend had the same freaking one. Yeah, the Knight Rider 2000 was a black Mustang. Or 2008.
2008.
Black Mustang.
2008.
Yeah.
But that would have been probably the base car, and then because I'm sure it changed. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I can see the Mustang, but I'm sure this was the one that it can actually morph into other cars.
The red one looked like it morphed. That's what I think you're talking about. That red thing. Yeah, that one looked cool. I never actually saw that movie. Now that you said that, I always thought Knight Rider 2000 was just the remake of like what I saw with the Mustang for some weird reason.
Yeah, I know they used
weird
the Mustang, which is I don't know, it's just not as good. Not as good as the original. The original, was it a Camaro or something else?
The original was a Trans Am.
Trans Am, that's it. That was just I don't know. For me, that's just Knight Rider. That was the classic Knight Rider.
Yeah,
there's nothing
completely
else that did it for me. I don't know, man. I said these remakes, I don't really get into them because I just think they ruin. They might ruin the original for me because they'll somehow taint the original. So I just don't bother. Yeah, I just don't bother looking at them.
I mean, they've ruined the A-Team movie. Remember that? They made freaking Mr. T Muslim.
Shit. Yeah.
I can't fight anybody because I'm a Muslim. I gotta pray.
I never even saw.
Like, come on, Mr. T.
You're talking about the movies, or are you talking about the movies with Rampage Jackson as Mr. T?
That's who that was.
Yeah,
Rampage Jackson. That was an embarrassment to Mr. T. Oh,
because. The thing is, what they don't realize is certain situations, especially like characters like Mr. T. Mr. T wasn't B.A. Baracus wasn't the character it was because of Mr. T. The B.A. Baracus was popular because the character of Mr. T. Because Mr. T had the personality and the charisma and the thing who made B.A. Baracus so popular. You can't just replace Mr. T with anyone else and just expect the same result and just give some black dude a mohawk. That doesn't work.
You know who I would have put there? Remember what the hell is his name? Terry. What the hell is his name? Not Terry Tate, but that other guy, Terry Crews. Remember that guy? He would have been a good Mr. T.
That's true.
Because he
might have been. Yeah.
He's very. Remember him from Idiocracy?
Yes.
The president.
Yes.
Camacho. He was hilarious.
Also, not only that, in White Girls. I don't know if you've ever seen White Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
the way
so good, Terry Crews in that. The funny thing is, Terry Crews was also really good in the first Expendables movies, the first couple, and those were the good Expendables. And then from that point, Expendables just went to shit. And I think that's probably why Terry Crews left anyway, was because the movies, probably the scripts were shit. But Terry Crews, you're right. Actually, Terry Crews might have been able to pull off a Mr. T or a B.A. Baracus, or bring something extra or new to that character. But Mr. T, as I said, the B.A. Baracus was popular because of Mr. T. Mr. T's personality and all the gold chains. That dude wore all that shit in the real world. B.A. Baracus was just a name. It was essentially just Mr. T. He was just playing
Did you know how he got that gold?
No.
it was pretty much like he was like a bodyguard for like drug dealers and stuff, and they would give him the gold for like the drug dealer for like drugs and stuff. The drug dealer would just hand him the stuff. Go, here you go. That's why he had like, you know, like Stars of David on him and other people's like, you know, jewelry. So it was just, he had like old ladies jewelry on him and stuff. It was, but I heard that he got skin cancer from it also.
He got skin cancer from the gold.
It was fake gold, some of it.
Oh, that's probably
plated.
But that's what I mean. I mean, that whole thing with the chains and the gold chains and the mohawk and just his personality, that's what made that character, you know, great. You take that out, then it's just a black guy with a mohawk. It's just, you can't do the same thing. You can't just replace some people and expect this fictional character to just be the same. It's like there are certain parts where an actor makes it so much their own that you can't even imagine anyone else playing that character. You know, I look at Scarface. I just can't imagine anyone else other than Pacino as Scarface. It just doesn't it doesn't even, you know, compute in my head. How would anyone else play that role better than him? It's just, yeah.
You're saying with Mr. T thing, as you were saying. You know, it's a really weird thing about the A-Team with Mr. T. That they basically sedated him every time he had to go on a plane. So it would have been really funny if he became a drug addict because of them.
Oh my god! Yeah, because he was afraid to fly, so they had to sedate him every time they had to take a plane.
Every time. Imagine if he was like that with just cars also. Like all of a sudden he's just like, I'm afraid of cars. Hint, hint.
Oh,
he's just like, stick it in my neck. You know, like, what are you doing? We're just going to the store down across town. He's like, I need to get fucked up. Come on. Give me one more hit, Hannibal. You know?
And the funny thing is, even in the movies, unlike the original TV show, Murdoch, was it? Yeah, it was Murdoch who was the crazy one. He wasn't that crazy in the movies. He wasn't really out.
He had to fly a plane.
Yeah, he was like, it was just another again generic. It just made him into more of a generic character. Whilst the original Murdoch was like off the hook. He was insane. He wasn't even stable. They had a hard time trusting him to be able to carry out the missions and shit because he was fucked up.
Well, actually, you know what the weird thing about that is they were like in the Vietnam War, so they were basically just being given acid. So Murdoch was just on acid the whole time. That's what the pilots were fucking seeing, like demons coming at them with their what the hell is it? Their night vision. And I think because it was red night vision.
Yeah, and almost in every episode, they had to break him out of some insane asylum where he was being committed. And they had
you know what it was? It was a VA clinic because he wanted to live there for free. He didn't have to pay rent. So they would just break him out. He got free drugs and food.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like living front free, you know, without the government, because the government doesn't hook soldiers up over here when they basically after they get out. And also, he had to play crazy because if he didn't play crazy, he couldn't hang out in daylight because they would put him in jail because at a bank in Hanoi that they were being looked for, the entire A-Team. Because they got set up by the government. Remember that? The whole government.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. But the thing is, wasn't Murdoch the only one not being hunted down? I thought he was the one
because he was crazy.
Yeah, but
they didn't think he was with the A-Team because they thought he was actually out of his mind. He was a good actor, though. So I mean, he was he was the genius of freaking the A-Team. Him and I think was it Face, because Face was trying to get laid the whole time, and he basically just used it into his routine. You know, he's just like, I'm gonna go talk to this nun over here, and all of a sudden she's naked. You know, like he was just like man with words. You know, he knew what he was doing. But and Hannibal was supposed to be the actor, which it should have been Murdoch, because Murdoch was the real actor out of all, because he was in Star Trek also. He had range.
Berkeley, yeah. But the funny thing is, in Star Trek, in a weird way, was it Ensign Berkeley or whatever his character was?
I forget his name.
He was still a bit messed up, even in
Was he?
Yeah, because he had an episode where he was addicted to the holodeck. And he just constantly got a holodeck addiction, and the funny thing was, all the characters in the holodeck that he created were from the actual crew of the Starship. So all the people he worked with, all his colleagues, he created them in the holodeck. But he was their king, he was their leader, and Riker and Picard and all the women
that's
Crusher, and he had them as his Crusher and what's her name? oh my God, Diana Troy. He had them in these like sexy outfits, sexy.
I was just gonna say with bikinis out there running around and stuff
I
like
think it was like Roman togas and stuff, and he was lying on a bed, and they were feeding him grapes. It was like, but the thing is, if you think about it, if that was real, then to create your colleagues as your subordinates in a hologram simulation, that's some fucked up stuff. That's some messed up shit. You're crossing some
like
lines.
A work wife.
Sorry?
You know, it's like a work wife. He just basically fantasizes about the people that he works with and stuff like that. Just makes it in.
Oh yeah, because it was an episode where he was in the holodeck and they were looking for him, and I forgot, they override something and they go into the holodeck to get him because they needed him in an emergency, and then they see all the characters that he's created, and they were all them.
That's hilarious.
That was a great episode. It was a great episode. If you ever get a chance, watch Star Trek Next Generation Holodeck Addiction by Berkeley. I'm sure it's Berkeley, his name. Okay. It was crazy.
I have all of them on DVD.
And he actually makes Riker smaller than him, because Riker is quite a tall individual. He actually shrinks him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my God, I used to love Star Trek. Oh, this is what I mean. These are the things I grew up on, like Star Trek Next Generation. My God, one of the first videos I rented was actually the first pilot episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. It was the Farpoint episode, and Q and all of that kicked it off. Great episode. Just so many things were happening, so many things and they introduced like the Q character. They introduced all the different, Enterprise crew, everything. Just that episode was awesome as a pilot. Now that I think about it and I see some of the shit that they've put out these days, you think, oh my God, this was such a tightly written, well put together pilot episode, and all the elements were there, and you introduced characters in which you are going to bring back later on, many, many months and episodes from now, like the Q character, which has actually been running through even up to now. Picard, the last season of Picard, he was there. He was even in that. So there was like so much going on in that one episode. Had so much packed into it, and so much like forethought about what we're going to do with these characters and where we're going to take them and how we're going to, unpack all of this. These writers now, they're fucking children in comparison. They're like writing coloring books in comparison to what these guys wrote back then. I mean, modern day writers, it's unbelievable how incredibly crap they are. And now I don't know. See, that's my problem. I'm ragging on all these writers, but could it be that these studios have become such conveyor belt of content, like let's just churn out the next content, that they are no longer giving the writers the kind of time and space that they need to produce the goods? Maybe they have the talent. Maybe there are plenty of talented writers, but they have to write 6 episodes of a TV show, or 10 episodes of a TV show in a few months. It's like, what do you expect? These guys, they don't have they can't do it. They need time to think through all the things. This is why, like when we were talking earlier about the mistake they made in Karate Kid 2 about the weight thing, and how, obviously no one thought about that. No one sat and analyzed and think. They just had a concept. Okay, we need to have these guys cheat the farmers, and we need to have a way of exposing that they're cheating the farmers. Oh, let's just do it like this. And they never actually thought through that this shit is actually wrong. Mathematically, this doesn't work. So maybe
they were basically. Oh, sorry. They're basically like, the weirdest thing is they're all surrounded by a bunch of Asians, and nobody figured that out.
That is both simultaneously racist and hilarious.
Well, it's a compliment, Basically, you have to be the first person I would check my math with
all these Asians around you, and you can't work out a mathematical problem.
Exactly.
I definitely have to take this episode offline. But this is so many.
It's a compliment.
There's just so many things that are gonna get fucked up on this. But yeah, it's true. It's true. If you have that many Asians, or in the case of Britain, Orientals, I don't know if I can even say that anymore. I'm not entirely sure. But if you have that
That's
many,
a rug.
yeah, if you have that many, then it's okay, guys. I'm kind of running at 10 o'clock now. I'm at the 3-hour mark. I went off so long. Thank you so much, though, Omar, for jumping on, dude. You're the best. I'm gonna end the poll, which now should give us the result of who is the end of poll. What is the result of the poll, people? I ended the poll. Oh shit! How do I see now? Oh, here we go. There you go. Does your vote matter? I'm gonna lean on the overwhelming majority of the votes here, which is 76%. No, it doesn't. So what democracy are we saving? Damn, I got too many pessimists on in this channel. I gotta give you guys a bit more of a positive boost. No, your vote do matter. You matter. You matter because you are awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, this year it's gonna get tough, man. I will say this. For anyone out there who ever comes across this, which I doubt many will, if you have a YouTube channel or social platform, media platform on any of the mainstream media platforms like YouTube, Twitter, well, Twitter is all right, Twitter's safe, YouTube and Facebook and these other types who are basically no longer free speech platforms, watch yourselves, especially when you talk about the elections, because you are going to be, they're going to censor the shit out of you. Oh my god, look at this. We have I'm sorry, Omar, there's a friend of mine, old school friend. Haven't seen Mr. Hassan Yilmaz for Christ about a year, dude. It's got to be about a year, man, since I've seen you last on these YouTube streets. Iran just slapped the Kurdi Jews to the Stone Age. Oh my God! What happened? What happened, Hassan? Apparently, Iran has done something to the Kurds. Why the Kurds? Why are they messing with the Kurds? The Kurds didn't do anything. I got to tell you, Omar. You think you think you may have said things that are on the edge or edgy. Hassan is like the number one. Literally every time I talk to him on the panel, I have to remove the show, like from YouTube, scrub it, clean it, delete everything about it. Because this man has no filter whatsoever. He got banned from a site that was supposed to be a free speech site that had no filter or wasn't supposed to have any filters, and he still managed to find a way to get banned. And I'm talking site that literally had, at one point, I'm sure it had white supremacists and Nazis and all sorts of shit. But he managed to still get fucking banned from that site because he just, oh, dude. But I mean, I got to tell you, Has, it's your thing about the small hats. It is. You know what? That's what it is. He goes hard. He goes in balls deep on the small hats. If you know what I mean, Omar. So yeah, he goes in hard, and unfortunately, it's just. I mean, even I'm not even sure platforms like Twitter would let him do what he does. I don't even think Twitter would. Hassan, are you on the X or the tweets? I don't think you are you? Because I'm pretty sure you've been banned off that. I know. I don't even think Rumble can handle this guy. I'm telling you, because the thing is, what I discovered, because I'm involved with the site that he got banned from, Google will message you and tell you that they will remove you from their app store or their Play Store if you don't remove this individual. By the way, this happens to all these other platforms as well. I'm sure X gets plenty of emails from Google and Apple telling them that they will remove their app from their app store if they don't remove X, Y, Z. That's the kind of level of shit that this guy got that social media platform into, is that Google was messaging them, telling them, look, this guy, these messages can't stay on your site. And that's what I mean about Rumble and all these other things. What you don't realize is, as much as we all think that Rumble and X and all these places are free speech platforms in which, you know, you can do whatever you want, what we don't realize is Google and Apple still have a leash on even those platforms, because if you have either an Android or an iPhone or an Apple phone, which is basically all smartphones, I don't really know a third OS that anyone really uses anymore. Windows failed, a whole bunch of others failed. So essentially Google and Apple, and they will threaten you with your place on their app store if you don't toe the line. So I'll be honest, I'm not really sure how long X has got, but X will be banned fairly soon from the app stores of these companies. Now with Android users, it's not such a massive loss. I can download any app API. You know it yourself, I'm sure. You can download any app from any site and install it on your Android phone without any issues. Third party locations, so you don't need to go to the Play Store. But with Apple, you can't. You're stuck unless you jailbreak your iPhone and go through all sorts of crap. You have to get everything from their App Store. If it's not on the App Store, you can't use it essentially. And so that's going to make a huge issue. It's going to have a huge issue for X if they get banned from the App Store, from the Apple App Store. As I said, the Google one, I don't think make a huge difference. But that's how they control the media, by the way. That's how they control the narrative. That's how they still have a way to do it, even if they can't pressure you, or if they can't chuck you off their own site directly, like YouTube and Facebook. They'll get around it. I'm telling you, there's so much shit going on. There's so many things that are playing in the background, and the system is a monster. Is a monster. Sometimes when I look at it, I think it's like an Everest that you have to climb. Try to.
That's why I only talk about like stuff like He-Man and metal detecting and just like current bullshit events, because it's like nothing really that's gonna piss anybody off or anything like that, or get anything like going like against you. It's basically just benign stuff, I would call it, because everybody hates what's going on in the world today, but it's not like anybody can actually do anything about it. You're just gonna have to sit here and enjoy the freaking the ride, or whatever you want to call it, the nightmare.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sometimes you just have to say, I mean, this is what I wanted to do. Tonight I wanted to just play R-Type and just randomly chat about shit. I didn't even want to do a political thing. Now, luckily,
that reminds me, you said R-Type. Did you play it on retrogaming.com or anything like that? I have a site that actually we could connect to each other and play each other in the games.
Really? Oh my god! Well, yeah. I mean, I've got Retro Games CC.
That's what I play.
And can you actually play together?
Yeah, we can connect we can connect the server and play one another through the games on it.
Through the site. But the thing is, R-Type isn't a multiplayer game though. But
some of them have. Some of the games on that site have multiple player games that you could play. You could set up a server, and then I could just come into there and play you on the game too.
Oh,
I have like an Xbox controller. It plugs right into it.
Yeah, I have an Xbox. Well, it's like an Xbox. Obviously, it's a PC USB thing. But yeah, I actually have one. I have an Xbox-ish control-ish thing, and essentially that's what I use to play these games. But I guess with the PlayStation games, because on this system, what I can see, what we have as options, obviously it's too. We're not going to get things like PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 type games because they're way too sophisticated and they require more power. But I guess with the PlayStation, like Tekken 3 is available on this, for example. So I guess
I have all arcade.
And then arcade games, I suppose, things like Double Dragon, there's 2 players on that. I guess you can play joint players.
We can do boxing one against each other on PlayStation.
Oh my god, yes.
We could actually create our own fighters to look like each other and then fight each other on the game.
Dude, okay. In that case, let's look into this. Let's explore this, because it does have a login and registration, but I never logged in.
Oh, it's free. You don't have to put anything down like that. I can just set up the server and I can give you the name and stuff like that, and you just go right onto the server.
In that case, then let's do that. Do it.
Right.
Do it, my good sir. I'll I'll get on it. Yeah, do it. Set it up and then just ping me. You know how to reach me. And yeah, we'll do it from there. Yeah, man. I'm
Instagram
well up for
you're
that.
on, right?
Yeah, you got me on Instagram.
Okay.
You got me on Instagram.
What time do you is good for you? Because basically, I'll set it all up and stuff like that. Because it's like I was actually looking for somebody to play this game with, and the people are always like, "Oh, I don't have a PlayStation controller." And meanwhile, he's got like kids that play video games all the time. So it's like
the funny thing is, I've got a PlayStation and I've got the remote like wireless controllers for that, but I don't know how to get a PlayStation controller to work on a PC wirelessly. So I actually bought a USB controller. Which has it looks just like a PlayStation, an Xbox. It's got all the same configurations and buttons.
Stream? Is it a stream controller?
It's I have no idea. I just saw it on Amazon, and
I have one. I have a stream controller also.
But it's like, as I say, it's identical to a PlayStation in all configuration buttons and all that, but it's not an actual Xbox. Can you actually, because I thought about this but I never really bothered, can you actually configure a Xbox controller to work on a PC?
On Retro, that gaming site, Retro Games, it completely it configures itself.
No. I'm talking about if I've got a PlayStation an Xbox 360 unit, and I've got the actual Xbox 360 controllers that come that are with it, can I actually plug it, use them on a PC? Because I don't plug any. There's no USB readers or anything like that for the Xbox. You just have a controller, and you can't, as far as I know, you can't actually use that on a PC.
Yes, you can. The Xbox One controllers. I mean, I have an Xbox One. Do you have an Xbox 360 or one?
Yeah, no, 360. I never got the one.
Oh. It's the one that you have to use. That they're only like $20, dude, but they plug right in. I think maybe you might be able to use an Xbox 3. Actually, I 360 because I have one. I'm going to try it actually. Now that you say that, because I usually use the Xbox One controller, or whatever.
I'm with you. Yeah, no. I've got a just a regular old Xbox 360, and unfortunately, I don't think you can. I don't think you can actually use the controllers, but it doesn't matter. I said I bought.
You might have to get drivers though.
This is what I mean. I think there's a whole host of crap you have to go through in order to get that controller to recognize it on the PC versus but it doesn't matter. I bought a USB one, and I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, that's cool. All right.
The main thing is, like you said, if you want to set up a joint playing game, set it up. Give me a shot. Now you know that I'm in the UK. You're in the US, so our time zone is essentially different.
5 hours.
Like, what time is it where you're at right now? Is it like 5-6 o'clock in the afternoon?
5:17.
5:17 p.m. Okay, so it's exactly 10:17. So yeah, it's exactly 5 hours apart. My problem is I can play weekends because I can stay up a bit later if you want to do it in the evening your time. But if you're available midday my time, so like 6 o'clock my time, which will be about 12 in the afternoon? No. Say 6 o'clock UK time. 5, 2, 1. Yeah, about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock your time. That is the kind of hours that, unless we're talking about weekends. If we're talking weekends, then I'm much more flexible. If you're not talking about weekends, then I have to play after hours, if you like.
Okay, well, I could set it up around like 6 o'clock for you or whatever. That works. I mean, I'm around sometimes.
Yeah. If you're available at that time and I'm available, hook me up. Let's just organize it anyway. Let's just talk on off.
Okay. Yeah, totally. I hear you.
If you like,
the walls have ears.
Well, yeah. I mean, no, it's not that. It doesn't really matter.
I hear you.
I don't think anyone.
I know.
I think this is just like no one's interested in that.
We're gonna bore somebody to death.
That's what I mean. That's why there's like no one's interested in us setting up a time to play retro gaming.
I know, right? Like, you guys are gonna play Pac-Man. Wow, call the fucking press.
You're gonna play some Double Dragon, some Bomberman.
Yeah. Dude, I got a story about one of the video games. I Carry Warriors. Remember that game?
Which one?
Akari Warriors.
Oh my god, yes, yeah. It's
Oh.
like a Japanese thing, but it's like
Dude.
it's like a speed. It's like kind of like is it like Streets of Rage type of
Rambo.
stuff, isn't it? Yes,
It's like Rambo and Commando in one.
yes,
Kind of like
yes.
Contra.
Oh my god, yes. The one that you have to turn left, turn right, up, forward.
Yep.
Oh my god. yes.
ABBF. Yeah. Dude, oh my god, that game came out in like 1987, right? Oh, and I was living at my grandfather's house, right? And it was like, I think it was December 17th, right? So, I was one of those little asshole kids that always broke into his presents for Christmas and stuff like that. So I knew that game was in there, and my mother had no fucking clue that I could like unwrap a gift and just basically pop it out and just play the game. And I stuck a regular game in there, and I'm playing this fucking game, right? And my grandfather's downstairs, and he's like, probably like 80 something years old, and we lived there because he was like, was dying or whatever. So as I'm playing the fucking game, my sister comes running up the stairs. She's like, "Oh my god, Anthony, Grandpa's having a heart attack!" And I was like, shit. "I'm in the middle of my fucking game." I was like so pissed. But I had to like put the game down to get it. And like, it was one of those weird things. And then like years later, get this, 2018 comes around and I'm metal detecting, right? I have my, my buddy that I go metal detecting with. I go to the retro store and I buy a Nintendo, like the Nintendo system. I got the 500 game. I got a 500 game pack on a cartridge, right? Oh. And one of the games is Akari Warriors, right?
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is like, I'm telling my friend on the phone, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm like, the last time I played this game, my grandfather had a heart attack in 1987. And I'm like, it's weird. So like, I go over there to get my friend to go metal detecting, and we go metal detecting, and he has a heart attack.
Are you serious? Oh my god. Oh, that is.
He didn't die though. I saved his life that day, but he died like, what was it, like 2022? He died years later.
Sorry
like,
about that.
Oh, it's right. He was basically like, he found out that he was really fucked. His body was really messed up or whatever. But I mean, I gave him an extra like 5 years or whatever to his life for like getting him.
There you go. But that's crazy how the same period, this game is like associated. Okay, you and I are not playing this fucking game because I don't need a heart attack.
It's veterans. They were both veterans that happened to. My grandfather was a veteran and this guy was a veteran. So weird,
That is freaky. That is very freaky.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, there's actually I've just noticed there's a game called Ninja Warriors, and I think that's a 2-player as well. Because I just like as you were telling me about Akari Warriors, I started looking at all these other arcade games, and yeah, because the thing is on this site there's just so much. It's just so many games. It's never ending. I'm never gonna be able to, half the games I don't even know the names because I only know the stuff, for example, that came out only in Europe. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that came out in Japan or America, which they never released them in Europe. So I don't even know like a massive chunk of the games that are just out there. There's names that I never even heard of before. So there's just so much. I mean, do you remember Wonder Boy? That was one of my main games that I played a lot of.
Sounds very familiar. Is that like an island type game or whatever?
It's he's a little character. He's running around. It's a call it screen scrolling game, I guess. Left to right, a scrolling game, and he's a little character, and he throws little axes. He's like a little caveman. He's with blonde hair.
Friend, my friend was stuck in the house. I used to play with these Egyptian kids all day long in the summer. They were never allowed to go out, so they had to sit inside their house and play Nintendo all day long, dude. It was kind of like a torture, but fun torture. You're playing Nintendo. You couldn't go outside.
Thank God they had Nintendo, these poor kids. Otherwise, they would have gone mad. But this Wonder Boy, oh my God, I spent so much money in the arcade because this game is almost impossible to freaking complete. It is insanely hard to complete because the character, like you get to the end of you go through several levels and then you get to the end of that level and then the main boss comes and you have to keep throwing axes at his head until his head gets chopped off and then another head grows. And it's like impossible. The amount of heads that this fucking thing has. I even tried because I love arcade retro games. So I downloaded a bunch of ROMs back in the day and I ran them through some emulators and I had cheats for these emulators and I even gave myself unlimited lives for this game and still wasn't able to complete the fucking thing because it just went on for so long. I just gave up. I was like, life is too short. I need to get out. Yeah, it's
I think
horrific.
it was called Adventure Island here. That same exact game in America. That was the name here.
Yeah,
It's Adventure Island because it shows a picture right next to it.
Yeah. It's in over here they always called it Wonder Boy, but yeah, I guess I mean it's still Wonder Boy. Actually, is it Wonder Boy on Monster Island? And that was I think the third one. And then
Wonder Boy Monster. I see the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do know that one actually. You're right. I totally know that one.
It's an insanely hard game to complete. It goes on forever. It just seems to go on forever. There was another one where they called Kung Fu Master. It's the same sort of type of thing where the game just doesn't end. It just loops. When you get to the final boss and you kill the final boss, it just loops back again and just starts from level 1 again. And it's like, oh my god, I'm never gonna complete this. There's some games that are just they don't have an ending. Oh, here's another one, Shinobi. You ever play Shinobi? The original
Ninja?
Shinobi. The Ninja, yeah. But it was because they released a bunch of other Shinobi 2, 3, whatever. But this original one where he doesn't have a head covering, the others he kind of has like a ninja mask. But this first one, the problem with that is you can have because it's an arcade, you can essentially give yourself unlimited coins. But the final level, the final mission that you get to, you can't continue. You only have the 3 lives that you get at the beginning, if you still have 3 lives, and that's it. If you finish, it doesn't let you continue anymore. So you have to complete the final mission with the amount of lives you have. Otherwise, you have to go right back to the beginning again.
I got hooked on a game on Retro CC games. It was Star Fox. Did you ever play that game?
Star Fox. Oh my god, wasn't that on the Nintendo 64?
I think so. I think it was on one of those.
Yeah, I remember.
I got to the last board and I fucking can't beat that fucking gorilla thing. I don't know what the hell it is, but last board, man, last stage, everything, and I can't beat it. But yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, my friend, thank you so much for showing up. I'm gonna wrap that bad boy up for the day and
no problem.
Sleep. Gotta go to work. It's been awesome. Set it up. Message me when you got a time and day in mind, and we'll do this. Okay. We'll have some fun.
All right, man. Well, have a great week, and I'll talk to you later.
You too, my man. You too. Have a great Sunday. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Okay. My good man is out. Let me switch this over to this one. All right, boys and girls. Oh, my God. We have Hassan Yilmaz. Yilmaz, my man. Okay, what is he saying? He's saying, X has been to the Wailing Wall. X has been to the Wailing Wall. Chill. I would love to talk about gardening. Yes, I know you would. I think you should set up a channel about gardening and food production, Hassan. I think you'd do well, because right now with the end of the world and all that prepping, people are going to be well into knowing how to grow their own food, tomatoes, cucumbers, etc. And watching the composting in Ukraine and talk about Russian wheat. Catch you later. The topic is amazing, thankfully. Geopolitics ain't been here. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll be honest, I'm not sure who's left in the back anymore. We've got three guys. Thank you for everyone for showing up. I will see you in the next video. Now, let's try to find a pleasant song to end with, huh? What's this? Oh. Sure about that one. Let's go with this one. Okay, guys. Before we get too much into it, thank you everyone for showing up. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I don't know how my voice was compared to the other people on StreamYard. StreamYard always messes with me when it comes to my microphone. I always end up being quieter than everyone else. But for now, have yourselves a very wonderful evening, Sunday evening, wherever you are. Love you all, and keep an eye out for this year's multiple elections happening across the world. Things are going to get interesting this year, I'm sure. Anyway, I am out of here. Like, subscribe, and tell your mother about it. Not this channel. Go to Hafez Reflex. Go to Hafez Reflex and subscribe there. Not here. Go there, because that's the PC politically correct channel that's slightly better than this one. Anyway, where am I? Am I going to play this damn thing? Yes. All right. Peace. Love you.
I woke upon your dragon lines, a power from below. I can't explain the reason, but it's a calling that I know. I feel you as you lead me on the paths of your veins, across your mighty mountains, your rivers and open plains, your rivers and open plains. I ride upon the eastern breeze, the power of the air. My thoughts soar high where the red kite flies, its spirit takes me there. I spread my wings, circle round the sun. I look down on the dragon lines where the kite and the dragons won. The kite and the dragons won. A while with my silent friends, the spirits of the trees. They gently guide me deeper to the doorway that you leave. My roots reach deep to the earth down below, where I journey on the dragon lines to a place that I know. To a place that I know. A power from below. I can't explain the reason, but it's a calling that I know. My roots reach deep to the earth down below, where I journey on the dragon lines to a place that I know. To a place that